Okay, we'll get started. I'll call the select board meeting to order for July 24th, on Monday at 7:02. Review the additions or removal or adjustments, any items for BSA 312. You got it?
Yes, I have a few suggestions to make. In the TA report, you might have noticed I've included an update from Sharon about the American Legion water billing issue. I think she suggested that actually be an agenda item for the Water Commission to approve removing that.
4A or?
So I
3B?
recommend, yeah, under the Water Commission consent agenda, we can just add it there as a 5, basically approving her recommendation that the bill be adjusted, that fee be removed from the bill and we move on. The other item is to remove from the consent agenda the driveway access application for the Masonic Libanus Lodge curb cut, because of some recommendations from the water operator about the water service, and just to help answer a question about this, if the sidewalk panel needs to be replaced, how to approach that. And I see that Kristen is here for a consent agenda item number 1, and perhaps we'll want to remove that from the consent agenda so that she can speak to it.
Okay, so we'll move it.
So, yeah, 3.
Consent agenda. Well, I'd recommend we don't have a consent agenda because there's only number 3, approve a curb cut, so.
Right.
Right, we'll just cross,
Yeah, because the next ones are the water and sewer consent agenda.
right?
I guess so.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
telling
you might as well, because that's only the only thing on the consent agenda, so you might as well just,
Is the remaining curb cut.
right?
Yeah,
But then there's the Water Commission consent.
Yeah, well, we
right,
can leave that
we
one.
can leave those.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. An overview of Zoom meeting operations and procedures, rule for participation, mute your microphone, we're all hats at that, so recognized by the chair. I'm filling in for Darla tonight, so public forum, 5 minutes for anybody that wants to come on for 5 minutes.
Yeah, for 5 minutes?
Well, you got public forum, you're not on the, if you got something on the agenda later, you can speak to
I
it.
don't have it on my.
Okay.
I was having to do the public forum.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are, traveling down West Street, going west. Here we are traveling down West Street, going east.
Yeah,
That's one sad-looking sign. And the Historical Society would like to replace it, or have it replaced. And because it looks this way, the Historical Society has put in an effort to design a new sign that looks like this. Okay, it's actually quite handsome. Everyone we've showed it to really liked it. And actually, you folks have seen it before.
well, I thought we had a number of meetings ago, we talked about it.
Okay, in addition, the colors of this sign match the colors on the signs that you encounter coming into the village. The Welcome to Bristol signs. So we have contacted a company that can put this design on a sign that will allow us to put it on that frame, right? The issue is whether the design can be put on both sides of one sign, or if it has to be put on 2 signs and then the signs mounted back to back. While we're talking to them about this, we intend to talk to them about the quality of the materials to make sure they're as good as possible, so that we don't have to do this again, maybe for the rest of our lives. The Historical Society will be very glad to remove the existing sign and dispose of it and mount the new sign on the columns. And at the same time, refinish these columns. They're kind of rough looking, and any other structural material that is needed there, and replace the finials on the top of the columns because they're split and trunks are missing out of them. So what would happen is this would be a really pretty arrangement. At the same time, the Historical Society would like to be assigned the responsibility of caring for this entire thing, maintaining it, so that it stays shiny, stays nice looking and appealing. That would be something else that we would like to undertake. Finally, the Historical Society would like to fund this entire project. Okay, take it right from the sign to the end, all time, labor, materials, the sign itself, and so on, so that it will not cost the town anything, either in money or labor.
That's a great way to get success.
We got a couple other projects for you, Ted.
A little larger.
Write them down. Anyway, should you decide that this is acceptable, would you let us know, and we will contact the sign company and get this thing back in gear and rolling so that we can finish it in a timely fashion.
Is the design of the new one gonna have a little hoop over the top? Like that one's just square.
This is the design that was done by Reich Dearborn,
Right,
and it was approved by the board, the Historical Society board. And the sign that we've shown a whole bunch of other people that thought it was just terrific, you know?
no, but my question is on the original sign, it has that, the board goes up.
Do you need that?
The board goes up,
We
I
can
just
put it
asking
on
if,
there.
I was just asking if it was gonna be the same.
Well,
Or is
this-
it just gonna be
This
square?
is the one that we submitted to the company.
Like the
If
tree in
it
the
needs to
back.
have a round, or if some round top thing needs to be on there, we can put that on separately and put the sign below it.
Do you know if anybody's contacted the zoning administrator to find out if the sign permit's required?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I would recommend a call, especially if it's going to change shape,
Especially if it changes shape, huh?
yeah.
You got this.
Okay,
Then don't change the shape there, Ted.
I guess under public forum, and we can't vote on it, 'cause it's just-
I understand.
So I would say, do that little bit of legwork with the zoning administrator and make an agenda item in 2 weeks, Ted. And we can prove it and
I
be
knew
done.
that was gonna happen.
I'm sorry, but I was almost gonna cut you off when you say, well, we need some money to do it, and I'm gonna say we can't under
We
public.
don't need any money.
No, you
No, we need
rented
to
that one
approve it.
for me. You're doing it, so,
Yeah.
you guys.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
But you'd have my backing, the sign does need updating, and we saw,
You think?
yeah. Okay,
Okay, so.
Thanks,
Dr.
Ted.
Chris,
Thanks, Ted.
anything,
Yep,
anything else for public forum? Nothing on the screen? Okay, department head roundtable, I saw Meredith, why don't we got Meredith first, you jumped on.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, so the rec department's been very busy. We're in our third week of swim lessons, really successful. This week, we're also doing community swim for any folks that want to come down to the pool from 10:45 to 11:45. It's $5 per swimmer. We had a wicked good time at the Disco Bristol roller event that was on the hockey rink on Saturday. It was really well attended, and I think we're definitely going to be doing that again. And we worked with the Vermont Skate Society. And then we're going into a couple of shows that are happening. There's a show at the rec field, the Sami Bots, and then there's a show that's going to piggyback the farmers market on August 7th. That's the Very Merry Theater Troupe. And they actually drive a trailer, a stage onto the green. And this is probably their 15th year doing this theater. So we're gonna be there on Monday, the farmers market, August 7th. It's a free show. I suggest everybody come and check it out. It's really well done. Pretty much, we still have more camps to go. We don't really stop camps until August 18th, but they're all sold out. So success. So it's been really busy. The front steps of the Holly Hall are coming along. They look really great. I think Ted did a phenomenal job, and we'll wrap that up in about 2 weeks with that. And then the Holly Hall's awfully hot upstairs. You know, during the summer it's like 84 degrees in there. So I've got all the fans going on and everything. So we won't be holding any events until it cools off a little bit. There'll be classes in there, but nothing too big. When we had the Griff show play in there, it was definitely pretty hot. Other than that, everything is great. We're starting to look at the Bristol Harvest Fest, September 23rd. That's a big one. That's a really great event for folks who are new to the town. Does anybody have any questions about what we're doing at Bristol Rec?
No, but can you tell me what's happening with the Memorial Park sign?
I have it. So one of the Boy Scouts needs to come pick it up.
Is it broke?
Yeah, so it snapped right off. The chain is still hanging from the sign. I talked to Gene Martin. It was his son, Will Martin, who did the Eagle Scout project. And it's just Gene and Bill Mount making a plan to come pick it up
Okay.
off my
So
property.
so it's in the works, get it back up there though, fix it and get it back up.
Yeah, they want to have the scouts redo it. Some of the dads want to do it. And then they'll get it back up there.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Meredith.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Just a question on I know rec department doesn't do Polcott Rock, but that's been moved to August 19th.
Yep, so that's August 19th. But Taylor and I are on the Bristol Core Committee, so yeah, it's been rescheduled August 19th. I don't know if Alicia has reset. Do you guys need to have another permit, or do you want me to just?
Well, that's why I'm leading to my question.
Okay, what I'll do
Bruce is here, I'm gonna ask the same for like liquor control. And
No,
all
we
that. Do they have to?
had the couple, after it was canceled, we had said they didn't have to reapply. We could just say, I
But
think
will
we
they have
did a
to reapply
motion
to the
that it
state?
would, we would agree that they would be good
Right.
for the rain date.
But would they have to reapply to the state for the liquor control? If they're gonna serve?
Yeah, they should, because it changes the date. So I'll follow up with Alicia on that. They really should, yeah, anything that's changed should be followed up. And so we have our own in-town permitting. And so I just changed the date on that, and it recycles the permit number, but just changes the date for the 19th.
Okay. All righty.
Great.
Okay, why don't we go with Eric? I see him in the back here. Eric, nothing?
Just
Haven't been
putting,
busy.
just putting roads together again and again and again.
Okay.
That's it. Dealing with the water issues, dealing with the flood, trees.
I went over to the lower notch there by the berry farm this afternoon again, and that softness will go away and.
It'll dry out.
Dry out.
It's dried out a lot from when we've
Yeah,
done
it
it.
seemed to be a lot drier today.
Yeah, we back drag it every couple days just to fill them in, to keep them smooth, try to keep them smooth.
Did you ever get a bigger culvert for there or no? Couldn't get
I
one?
got a price on one, but I haven't ordered it or called availability on them could be anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 weeks. Depends on if the company has them in stock or made, where they get them from.
Okay, all right. Any questions from the board for Eric?
No, so that means his, roadside mowing is in the background, huh?
No, we were roadside.
Were you?
Yeah.
You up at my house?
Mine.
Yeah, all the grass on the side is now like in the road from the rain and the
No,
wind.
for the roadside mowing on the dirt, we tried to scrape the dirt first.
Oh,
And that way, when we mow, it leaves, the clumps of grass alongside. And by the time hopefully, by the time that we go back to grade it again, some of it's deteriorated enough where it breaks up when it gets pulled in,
Mhm.
instead of wadding up and rolling down the road.
Okay.
So
grade it.
we try to grade them first and then go mow them after.
that's just permission for the people up on our road to spin out on
So,
it.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Taylor, I see you're on Bristol Hub.
Yeah, hi, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Great, I never know with these headphones. Yeah, so the hub has been good. We've been open. Summer numbers are a little bit down, but we're running camps, and that's been great. We're running a team camp this week. But most importantly, I was on to update you guys because I wasn't exactly sure how to update you, but we found a van. And so it's in the checkboard, the
The warrant. The
Warrant, pay orders, yeah.
So we worked with Dave Foster in New Haven, and he agreed to help us find a van at no extra charge to us. So he's doing it he's not making any money as a help to the town and to the hub. So we found a 2019 15-passenger Ford Transit with less than 50,000 miles on it for $39,000.
Good price.
Yeah, and then for transportation and everything, it came out to just shy of 43,000 because Dave is charging us for like the cost to get it here from Florida because it was in Florida. It's no rust, drives fantastic. It got here last week, and so Meredith and I got to zoom down and like take a quick ride in it. We're elated. We talked to the BLTC, and insurance is good to go as soon as Sharon kind of presses go on the form, but they insure 15 passengers, and we're really excited. Ideally, if you guys agree to sign the check, we will go and pick it up tomorrow afternoon as soon as we're done with camps, and then we will have a 4-year-old 15-passenger van with less than 50,000 miles on it.
Good job.
Good,
Yep.
good. Okay, Bruce, you're here, I see you.
So we continue to be steady. There's plenty of business for us. There's another dog complaint that I'll be finalizing the information hopefully tomorrow that will be coming before the board. It's a new one.
I'm gonna be gone that day.
Okay. Anything else for Bruce? Or Bruce for us?
I would just like to thank Bruce and the crew for helping keeping an eye on Briggs Hill, slope, this, I don't know.
The slide.
Helping keeping an eye on the road and stuff for me as well. So, just wanna publicly thank the police department.
And we are responsible for the first one, or the one up by Masterson is also ours too. Or is that Lincoln?
Where? Up the down,
Bill
up on,
Masterson's.
oh, there by Lincoln Road, where we went to the other night. I think that's in our,
Yeah, it is.
just
So we
The
got,
cul-
the culvert that got plugged.
Yeah,
is
it's
that what
just,
happened?
it's like 50 feet, 75 feet from the town line.
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
But that one's fine, that was just a culvert plug and, we got it back opened up and a little bit of shoulder work to do.
Okay.
And that's it
Okay.
for that one.
Bunch of dead logs come down through and kind of mess things up.
Deadwood, huh?
Good. Alrighty, Jill, wanna give us or are you gonna wait till we get to the water commissioners?
I'll
Doesn't
just wait till the water part since there's lots to get through.
Okay, and I don't see Brett on.
Nope, he's not.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna approve a grant authorization request from Krista Underwood, proposal for flood resistant communities fund grant to conduct a scoping study alternative analysis of the Haven River from Hewitt Road Bridge to the Saunders River access to improve flood resistance, improve water quality and enhance habitats. No matching funds are required. Kristen, you're up.
Okay, so this is kind of a grassroots effort that's been bubbling up over the last couple of years. Landowners along this stretch of the Haven River from Hewitt Lane down to Saunders River access have experienced repeated flood damages and over the years, including Tropical Storm Irene all the way up through the current, and have reached out to Agency of Natural Resources staff about permits and whatnot, and inquiring what could be done in that stretch of river, and realized that any solutions there need to be kind of holistic, because any action taken by one landowner is potentially gonna impact the downstream or neighboring landowner. So the A&R folks reached out to me and asked if Bristol would be an applicant to the Flood Resilient Communities Fund for this, to fund an engineering study of that stretch of river that could then in turn identify various restoration and conservation projects along there that would alleviate flooding or mitigate flooding in future.
Didn't they do that already, Kristen?
Did they, meaning
Yeah, I thought there was already some kind of study done. Didn't you guys plant trees and hoping that would? like-
Well, that was where the river got out of the bank and we stabilized it probably 15 years ago.
2013, actually, yeah.
And then the trees got taken out again, right?
No, actually, no, that
Did they?
held well, so
Okay.
that's Saunders River access.
Okay.
Is that the one
This is
just
Properties
right off
downstream.
from Carlson Road? Is that what you got, sorry?
Yeah, the one they're mentioning is the Saunders River access, the root
Right
rods
across
that
from
we put in.
Saunders barn.
Correct.
Okay.
That
Oh.
section is doing well and-
Okay.
and really weathered this flood well and weathered,
Okay.
the smaller floods we've had, like the
So we're
Halloween
talking
storm.
south of that?
So this is
or
actually upstream north of
north of
there,
that. That's what I thought.
from Hewitt Lane down
Down
to
to
meet
meet.
Saunders
Okay.
River access, still have some issues there.
Okay.
What about, to me, it seems like that river is gonna come south of the long bridge, the big bridge. You know, over,
You're too far south, Joey.
I know, that's why I wanna talk about it. You know, with your racks, way down by Carlson Road, that river seems like it's gonna come south of that bridge one of these days.
Oh,
That
I see
river
what
has
you're
moved
talking.
way over there.
Yeah.
When I was
hear
a
what
kid,
you're
my
talking.
grandfather lived down the corner.
Yep.
Where that barn always flooded right there. down
Near the bridge that was replaced.
Yeah,
By
But
Sycamore
they were
Park.
up on the corner. I used to fish right in the river, right by the.
Yep.
When I was 10, 12 years old, be down there, and now that river is way over in Saunders Field, and
Yeah,
it seems like it's gonna get over.
and completely bypass the new bridge maybe
Yes.
at some point.
Hopefully
Well,
Right
not in our
along the-
lifetime.
hopefully not in our
I
lifetime.
think with some clever armoring, you can do a lot. Let it dissipate energy, but then encourage it to go back where it was when it's done.
Right.
Yeah, so this application is really, we're talking about a stretch of river from Hewitt Lane down to meet Saunders River access. You're talking down here, Joel. I think.
Right, so this is kind of, I've seen it where it slid, George and Kathy Foreign lived right in here, and it's
Yep.
a turn off from Carlson Road on.
There've been some
Yeah.
slides there.
Some big slides there, so you're talking in that area.
Yeah, and this is what it looked like after the 38 flood. We know it's a pretty dynamic stretch of river that has the potential to kind of jump its banks in a big
Likes to
flood.
steal logs.
Likes to steal logs, that too,
At least 4 times at my house.
right?
Did you get water in the middle this year?
No, we got that close to it, but it didn't quite come over the bank. We're really lucky.
It does, grab that Subaru present by the office and make sure they
It was running through the south log yard, but the rest of it was when we were.
Dry, thankfully.
Okay.
So Ken here is representing A. Johnson Company as one of the major landowners in that stretch. The other major landowner is John O'Chapin, who we've also been in contact with and supports this grant application. It's a grant that does not require any matching funds from the town. It's a grant that's in need of an applicant, basically. I volunteered to write the grant application, which we have. We just need someone to apply, and that could be the town of Bristol through the select board. The Conservation Commission would be a likely candidate, but we're on hiatus this summer, so I couldn't bring it before them for a discussion or a vote until September. So that's why I'm here. And another candidate would be the Addison County Regional Planning Commission. They have offered that they could administer the grant for the town of Bristol, and I think they tack on about a 5% administration fee to do that. So they would be the one to put it out for bid, solicit bids from engineering firms to do the study and administer that.
So to play this out though, without the study, you couldn't even apply for grants to
do the work.
Bring it back into its
Correct.
somewhat stabilization.
Correct. The study would help identify,
Then there's more money out there for that type of work.
then there is more money out there to implement whatever is recommended by the study.
Okay. What's your pleasure, people?
Can we say, okay, let the Conservation Commission be the applicant?
Or the Addison County Regional Planning Commission.
Or the regional
Yeah.
planning, yeah, the other factor is it's due July 31st, so in a week, less than a week. And the Conservation Commission won't meet until September, so they can't be the
Yeah,
applicant.
so if you do the Addison County Regional Planning, you'll just add the 5% on to whatever it is that
Correct.
you're gonna apply for.
And the total budget at this point is about 42,000.
Did I hear?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to have
Addison
Addison
County Regional Planning
through with
for Kristen.
Kristen's knowledge. There's a second to that. Any more discussion?
I bet you Kristen's gonna end up doing most of the work.
Yeah,
Joel, were you the second?
no, Pete.
Peter was.
Okay.
So, I mean, just ask, Kristen, you don't seem to have the time to do it, and the 5% is, like you said, you're gonna add it on, so. I'm not trying to steal work from you, or
No,
beg you to do
it's-
it, but.
It's pretty standard for,
Okay.
in terms of what they would charge for an administration.
We need to remember that for every grant we
We do.
agree to do.
I work 5%. Okay, if there hearing no more discussion, all those in favor of this authorization, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
You gotta look up, Ian's not talking, he's just raising his hand.
Okay. I'm not taking the notes, Carol is over Wakefield, so. Okay, number 3, number 2.
Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you, Kristen. Number 3, approve a curb cut driveway access permit application, 2023-04 DA to relocate a driveway at 605 Ford Road. Per DPW Foreman Eric Coda's recommendation conditions. Eric, you wanna just brief us on it? They have a driveway now?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're moving the driveway.
we're moving the driveway up towards 116. So
Wait a
pretty
minute,
much
wait a
they
minute.
wanna go on the brow of the hill,
Which one are we doing?
Cole Road.
Oh, I thought we were doing the Banner's Lodge.
No, that was crossed out, right?
No, we're still doing it, we just need
We're
to have
just going,
discussion
looks
on
like
it.
we're going through all of those consent.
You told me we weren't doing the curb cut.
No, she said to take it out of the consent agenda, but.
Oh, I'm
add the
sorry.
regular
Okay,
item.
well, no,
No, that's okay.
I will read the next one. Number 2, approve curb cut driveway access.
No, it's not consent agenda, we're doing one at a time.
Yeah, he knows, but he skipped over that
I
one.
skipped over, I
Oh,
crossed it
okay.
out. I'm
Gotcha,
sorry.
gotcha.
Approve curb cut driveway access permit application from Sonic Lodge, number 47 for a new ADA entrance on North Street. Per DPW code recommendations conditions.
Okay, do this one instead, Eric.
Where are we now?
Lebatus Lodge.
On this lodge.
Oh, yeah, that one there is pretty straightforward, there isn't really much there, other than if they break the sidewalk, I put in there, that they would have to replace the sidewalk at the normal driveway
Height.
requirements, 6 inches, 4,500 pound PSI, fiber mesh,
Are they still keeping their other access?
yeah.
I mean,
This one here is only just for the handicap.
Okay.
But you mean the access on North Street that covers all, they
The
drive all.
Elm Street, well, usually they come in on Elm Street.
Well, Jill's picture today to us shows that, was that coming in on Elm Street?
She had two,
North.
That's North Street.
she had two pictures,
Yeah, one of them was mine,
Oh, okay.
to illustrate the sidewalk.
Because right now, they park 20 cars up through there, all the way to Ken Weston's property, and they just park across the sidewalk. Drive across that whole sidewalk up through there. Are they gonna have a designated spot?
Supposedly, according to what I've got told in the permit was, that driveway is only gonna be accessed by handicapped people to get to
The elevator.
the elevator.
And one part of your recommendation is that an ADA only access sign be installed at that entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Jill brought to our
I guess,
attention.
so, are they not going to drive all over the sidewalk, all the way up North
Yeah,
Street?
they still are.
They're still gonna do the same thing they
So
normally do.
why do
They're
they need a
just
permit
applying
for?
for the driveway, just basically applying for a driveway for handicapped people to get to the elevator.
They're probably gonna actually put in a physical driveway,
Driveway,
there's no
right.
driveway there now.
Right now, exactly, they just drive over the lawn.
Yeah, so they're gonna put in a driveway, I got them, they're putting in between the sidewalk and the road, actual road base. If they break the blocks, then they gotta replace them with the standard driveway blocks.
Isn't the sidewalk about a foot below the road there?
Right there, no, I don't
That-
think so, Peter, I think it's almost level.
That's what I was gonna say, I think
I think it's a little,
It may be a little low, but I don't think that low.
I have a picture, hang on. Screen share.
Yeah, there you go, Jill. It's going way up on the north end, correct?
yeah,
So the driveway,
gonna be up there.
yeah, it's not
right
farther
about
in
there. And then, let's see. Pull up Jill's picture. Oh, actually, here's a different picture of the sidewalk. And it's gonna be right around here.
Yeah.
And Jill has another picture of the curb stop right out here.
Yeah. Yeah, she said the curb stop was pretty much right in the driveway that they wanna,
Right.
where they wanna put the driveway,
Great.
so.
So is the curb stop on the North Street side or the Elm
Yeah,
Street side?
North Street.
Well, her picture she sent, there was,
It's right there.
Right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
okay,
I thought that was Elm Street when I first looked at
yeah,
it.
you
but
too.
That is North Street.
And so her recommendation is to install that a valve box riser and cover be installed at grade to cover the curb stop, and that the water district can provide those.
So can you
Sounds like
show
a good
that,
idea to me.
Good year to me.
can you show that other picture you had down the
It's the
sidewalk?
first one or the second one?
First one, I guess that's the second one, isn't it?
This is
No,
the third one.
one.
Eric, is that where I wanna show the old drainage, there's no drainage tile.
Let's see.
I'm going back to Peaker's concern, the sidewalk's lower, you're gonna put that, water's gonna come right in off that North Street, is it going to go?
Well, it already does. I mean,
Run down
it
the
just
sidewalk.
goes across the sidewalk now.
Well,
It
it
just-
kinda stays in that curve a little bit, Peter.
Stays
the
in the
next one.
swale,
The next-
unless we get too much of it.
Joel, are you concerned about the water going onto the new driveway?
Coming off the new driveway up from the curb stop to the driveway and then running down the sidewalk and icing the sidewalk all over.
I know,
That's-
there's no drain there.
Show that other one, Valerie, please, I believe there is.
Not in that area, it's above it and then down at the intersection of Elm.
You know, there's one right by that, crossing LaRose's driveway.
If it is, it's out in the road.
It's right it's right out on the. It's down there, but right down between that Elm Street sign and that telephone pole, you can barely see on the left-hand side. There is a old drainage there, right in there, Valerie.
Right in there?
No, way
No, up by
down,
the
way
road.
down.
See the signpost right
See
there?
the signpost?
Over
No,
No,
No, up by
the old
road.
Elm Street
right
signpost,
by the road.
Right there?
Yeah,
way
there's
down
a
there.
drain right there in the intersection.
Yep. And if we have a problem, should we have a drain that we hook those two together? Because that ties into the North Street drainage system, right? It's not a drill well.
No, it ties into the drain system.
And Peter's question was that sidewalk is lower than North Street.
Yeah, it's about a foot lower because I plow all the snow over it onto this end. And I plow the whole shoulder and everything off. So that when they park, they have a place for their
I mean, what's,
breakfast, they have room to park.
right. I mean, what's the thought of, I like the driveway going to the, I guess it's coming in somewhere near that door.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess if it's level with the grass, the water problem is there, it's just not gonna change our water.
But what if they came in that way, then exited out Elm Street and all the cars that parked there instead of plowing off, instead of parking over, running over the entire sidewalk for 100 feet?
All the cars parked where?
Right now, the cars start from that Limas Lodge and park all the way up through.
Yeah.
And they cross the sidewalk everywhere.
Yeah.
What if they just came in the driveway, went to the ADA spot, and then parked along the building diagonal, and then exited out Elm Street?
On this side or on the other
You're
side?
never gonna get them to do that. I know
There's a
what he's
sewer
saying.
back there.
I know what he's saying. He's saying have them come in the handicap access, park, turn left, and then park diagonally up against the building. And then when they leave, they go out Elm Street
Right.
rather than back out on.
They come in here, go over
Well,
here.
they're not asking about their parking, they're,
Right.
all they're
Well,
doing
then
right
their
now,
exit would be right by this post and come out on the street.
all they're asking for is access permit.
Yeah, but technically, can we control them going across the
Yeah.
sidewalk is the question.
They have
If
a
they-
driveway access about 100 feet long there.
If they break the sidewalk, we can make them replace it, but apparently it hasn't been an issue
No.
because the sidewalk's not broke.
No,
I don't think a personal vehicle crossing the sidewalk.
No, I don't
is enough
either.
to break it.
No.
So the
What
question
about-
regarding the panel size, unless we plan to replace this anytime soon, I would say if they do crack a panel or two, that we just replace it with the same width. I think it'd be a little bit odd to have a 5-foot panel sit there, like two 5-foot panels. There'd be no benefit to that really, given the length of that. And it's in pretty good condition too, so.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, when I wrote that condition, I wasn't sure what the condition was, or where this segment fell in.
I guess
in
my
the
question to the board is, so the water, we have control, we have issues with that water freeze coming off of North Street and laying around that sidewalk all winter long. And we realized we were gonna have to put a drain just south of their new driveway and tie it into the old drain. Where is that cost gonna come?
Why do we have to put a drain?
To collect the water that's coming down the new driveway, instead of running down the sidewalk, we're gonna run it into a drain. That's, I'm saying if we have to do that, not, we're not gonna do it now, but if water comes in that new driveway and then heads further down the sidewalk, it becomes icy all winter long.
It should, I mean, it's level with the road all the way down through there. It all sheets off the road there now anyway.
Unless we put a little belly in that lawn and make the water go to the,
I mean, does it matter what material they use for the driveway? If it's stone or something like that, gravel, will it just drain? Or
No,
are we?
no, once it's packed, it won't drain.
and not once it's freezing in the winter and you get a rain, heavy, melting or something.
I think we're reading way too much into it.
We might,
I'd say we'll deal with that bridge when we
Yeah.
cross it.
but, okay, you wanna deal with that bridge, you wanna deal with it then, and they say, well, you gave us a permit for it, and
Well, you're saying, how are we gonna deal with it?
are we gonna have to pay for that later on, the voters? Or we said, if we didn't have a curb cut there, we never flooded this driveway, now we do, or this sidewalk.
The only thing with that, Joel, is when that sidewalk gets replaced, we usually raise the sidewalks up above road height. So if that does happen, the water's not gonna be able to go down the sidewalk at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know when that's being replaced, of course, I don't know the
The
schedule.
looks of that, probably 50 years.
Could be, it could be a while, yeah, absolutely, but when we do them, we always raise them up above the road an inch or two. So it sheets, off, the water sheets off the sidewalk, so it shouldn't be an issue, but in the meantime.
All right, I mean, I'm not opposed, I'm glad they're putting a driveway in to get to their handicap access, but.
I move we allow them to put in a driveway with the water department and road department, highway department's conditions.
Second.
There's a motion, and a second, any more questions or comments?
So Joe, given your concern, and I understand your concern, can we have them make sure that the slope is not sloping directly towards the sidewalk? Is that possible, that it could be as level as possible? Obviously, they don't want it to slope towards their building. Are there ways to mitigate the potential that you see?
I'm not worried about the water from their building, it looks like that lawn and all that. I was worried about the water coming down North Street from the Fitch Avenue area on this side of the center line, running down the street.
Well, it's all plowed now, and it's below in the wintertime, it's all plowed. And
Correct.
it's below the road, so water comes down off of there.
But there is a little bit of an edge there on that. Can you show that one picture, Mallory? That curve, there is a little bit of a curve there. Not much. No, it doesn't show. The other one, I guess the third picture you had.
The first picture.
Or maybe the first one. See, there is a little bit of an edge of a curve there. Not much.
On the road?
On the road, right there. There's, comes down through there, and it comes to this drain, this picture.
There's no curb there.
There's grass.
There's
It's
no
just
curb
grass.
there. I
It's just
plow the
grass.
whole thing from the pole from telephone pole to telephone pole, I plow from the road in and pile it on the far end. There's no curb there.
I think what you're seeing is dirt.
Maybe. But the grass is higher than the road, that's what I'm saying, a little bit, so the water kind of comes down that road, and either absorbs into that grass and now it's gonna come down the 15-foot wide driveway and come down the sidewalk.
You can leave a hump there at the edge of the road.
You could, if they could do that, that would make make me feel better, than say that you're not getting the road water.
No offense, there's ice on that sidewalk during the winter time anyway.
And the driveway,
We get enough complaints about
the
it.
driveway to Weston's old house is lower than the,
Right.
you know, so it's 50 feet from there, it's already coming into the sidewalk, so
Yeah.
I think it's a moot point.
Okay. All right. No more comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the access permit, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, approved curb cut driveway access permit number 2023-04DA to relocate a driveway at 605 Cove Road per DTW Foreman Dakota's recommendation and conditions.
Why do they wanna move it?
What?
Why do they wanna move this driveway?
So the driveway is not so steep.
Oh, it's not sight distance on Cove Road, it's just the.
The driveway pretty much goes in and then up.
Mhm.
So they wanna move it towards the start of the woods is where they wanna move it to.
Over here?
Yep.
Oh.
So then it will, 'cause
isn't
right
that in the
now
subdivision?
it's in New Haven.
Isn't that subdivision there? They own that?
No, Tom Shepherd
Right,
did those there, but Martell owns the woods.
okay.
And
So they would have to go in they would have to cut the woods out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
the driveway currently is in New Haven.
Right.
Originally, where Valerie had her cursor the first time, that's where they were thinking about putting it. And then further discussion between Luke and the owner, they wanna now put it up towards the top of the woods where it's more level. And they're gonna kinda come in and slab that to the house. So the driveway is not gonna be as steep, there doesn't need a culvert there as of right now, cause that's about where the ditch starts.
So they own the woods, but they don't own the grass, right, Eric?
Yes.
That's why they can't come off from Collins.
Is the house in Bristol or New Haven?
The house
As
is.
far as I know, it's in Bristol, but.
And I believe that's New Haven.
See, the sign, somebody put the Bristol New Haven sign right where Valerie's cursor is.
Yes, it is.
And
But it
it's-
belongs down by where it says Cove Road there.
Right, it belongs down towards where Martell's driveway is now, in that area. And I don't know who put it there, I didn't put it there, I'm not sure who did stick it in there, but.
So is there any concerns about like leaving some of the trees there so the neighbors don't see the driveway?
Site distance is all good, did you have?
Yeah, sight distance, if they put it there, they actually got better sight distance than down halfway down that little knoll. Right there on the top of the knoll, they can see perfect both ways.
You don't need to cut any trees or anything?
No, the trees are back far enough where it wouldn't impede when they come up to the road.
He says the brush be cut back in both directions.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm talking, stuff like big as your thumb, not trees.
Can you make that permanent in these things, like, because they'll do it when you first put the driveway in and then they never do it again.
Well, they're supposed to maintain it, it's in the regulations,
Yeah.
but nobody ever does.
That's because none of us ever enforce it.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, so that's the thing on that. I think in my original one, Valerie, does it say a culvert?
Yep, a 15-inch
By
by
30.
30-foot
Yeah,
gray culvert.
so-
And
but-
that blind driveway ahead, signs be installed on the north side of the driveway,
Yeah.
brush be cut back, and that the new driveway needs to be flat with 17 feet back from the edge of the road.
So basically, by putting it at the brow of the hill, they won't need a culvert and they won't need a hidden drive sign.
I was gonna ask that, why do they need the hidden sign?
Because it's right out in the open, they
Yeah.
won't need it. By coming down the hill, I wanted the traffic coming from 116 and heading towards Munger Street to know that there's a driveway there on the left in the woods, so if somebody's pulling in or getting ready to turn into their driveway, they don't come up onto them quick, and by being on the top up there, they're gonna be able to see them quite a ways back.
So your conditions were written from an earlier
from an
iteration?
earlier location.
Okay, because the application didn't include a map, so I just had to fake it with that.
Right, so they, like I said, Luke and the owner talked later. Then he came to me, by that time, I'd already written that one out and put it in the office down here.
Okay, so no culvert is
So it
needed.
should need a culvert and
No blind driveway sign.
yeah, we won't need that either.
Okay,
But they still need to come in flat, 17 feet and all that, like the rest of it.
okay.
In the brush and so on and so
The
forth.
brush definitely from the south,
Yeah.
coming, head towards 116.
Boy, that consent agenda was a complete bust.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, they don't have access on us, so it's basically a new curb cut for us.
right.
I move we allow them to access the road.
Second.
And there, according to Luke,
Hold on here, let me get a second.
He did.
I heard
Ian,
Ian?
second.
Okay, Ian, I thought you did.
Yep, thank you.
just one quick thing, according to Luke, told me that once the new driveway is in, he's gonna rip out the culvert for the old driveway and stuff, so they're not gonna be able to use that one at all, according to what he told
But
me.
we don't care because it's not in Bristol.
Right, I'm gonna say they could leave it in and go out,
Yeah.
right?
We actually put that driveway in.
Yeah,
Or
according to
culvert.
the parcel
Culvert.
map, it's just, the driveway is just in Bristol. The
just
line
in
is,
Bristol, the old driveway is.
it's literally like the line's right there.
So maybe the house is in Bristol then.
I would say the house is.
Well,
Oh,
that's
the house
the
good.
driveway
the house
in.
definitely is.
We didn't, well, we put the driveway culvert in.
Our
year-
private
When
culvert.
that was, put up.
But like you said, that sign now is almost where.
So then if the driveway, if you're saying the driveway's in Bristol, Ian, I would say
is.
that we add to the conditions that once the new driveway is in, the old one be removed.
Okay,
Okay.
And then that way, they don't have two driveways.
in and out.
So that's good with me.
It'd be interesting
Is
to see
that
how
okay with your second, Ian? for
Absolutely.
that?
Yep, thank you.
Okay,
how they're
there's-
gonna access the driveway to the garage in the house. Because it's all backwards now.
Yep, I don't know.
Maybe it's gonna
So-
go this way.
Yeah, so we have a motion and a second to approve the curb cut for the conditions of the road form. Any more comments, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Put on your water and sewer hat.
Well, hopefully, with the idea of this consent agenda, a single motion would approve all of those things. And
I have
that,
to read them all, right?
well, yeah, I suppose, but that they're straightforward enough that they don't need discussion. And we're adding a number 5
Yep.
for the lodge
Authorization, number 1,
region.
authorization submission of the step 3 construction loan application to DWSRF program for the Pine Street water line replacement. Designate the town administrator, Valerie Cable, as the authorized representative, or require select board signature on a certified form. Number 2, authorize submission of the step 2 loan application to DWSRF program for the Bristol West water line replacement design and designate town administrator, Valerie Cable, as the authorized representative. Will require select board signature on a certified form. Approve a new residential water connection application for 65 West Pleasant Street per the water operator's conditions. Approve a minor modification to the previous approved sewer department budget so it's level funded with the previous year rather than decreased. Number 5, how do we wanna put that?
Approve the town clerk's
Accept.
recommendation.
Approve the town clerk
Yeah.
slash assistant treasurers to adjust the American Legion's water bill
Yeah.
for no increase due to not a water leak.
I'll make a motion to approve all 5 of those items.
No second.
There's a motion and a second. Any questions? Comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed?
No, but can I ask Eric? Did you issue a driveway permit for 65 West Pleasant?
No.
No.
I was told that it was done through the Act 250 permit.
That doesn't,
That doesn't do
no,
anything with the
that's
town.
not the way it works.
Wow.
Good, you go yell at them for driving across our driveway, our
I don't even know what
sidewalk.
that.
Broke it
Well,
up.
they're already broke. And
They were brand new.
Yeah, they're gonna be replaced.
Yeah.
I already got that anyways. In the work in the right of way permit, I already put that in the permit, if any blocks are broke, they've gotta be replaced.
So they do have a right of.
They have a right of way, to work in the right of way permit, yes.
But they don't have an access permit.
No, there's no driveway there yet. They've just been driving all over and putting mud and everything all over the road and the sidewalk.
Well, they will need an
Somebody
access
will have
permit.
to convey to Chris that, cause he's the one that told me that the driveways were all approved during the Act 250 permit.
No, it's not the way it works.
Okay, so maybe.
Well, the
somebody-
map might have been approved that they're gonna have driveways for these 3 sites, but they gotta still come to the select board for approval.
Who's Act 250? You mean Kathy and Martin Clark? They're
I'm
Act
assuming
250?
so, yes.
Would they have gotten Act 250? They
If
shouldn't
they
have
were
had Act
selling it,
250.
I don't know why they would
There
have
shouldn't be
to.
any Act 250
No.
permit on that.
I don't know.
It'd be a wastewater permit, but,
Yeah,
Okay,
or maybe we're thinking DRB.
alrighty, I do vote for that, right? We did. play that.
Yes, we did.
Okay, regular business, consider Lincoln Road River Restoration Project bids and award of a contract. May include deliberation executive session regarding contract negotiations. You have the 3 prices, and Valerie sent them out today. We won't reveal those yet, in case we,
No, actually, that's in my TA report,
So
and
they
they're
are-
quite public.
so
it's
they
a
are
public bid opening.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And Roy Schiff and Brian Cody are online here, and I emailed this afternoon the summary memo that Brian prepared with recommendations and options. And since they're here, I'll turn it over to Brian and Roy.
hi Brian, hi Roy.
Hey
Okay.
everyone, how's it going?
You guys got a
So-
couple 100,000 extra in your pocket?
Good news is that we had a quick video meeting with Jim Coda from V-Trans about some of our options. And one thing, he agreed that he could easily extend the grant agreement by a year if we need to. And he is going to be able to increase our grant amount from 175 to 200,000. So that adds 25,000 to the project.
So we're
200,000
still a
is the
little
max,
short.
just a little, but 200,000 is the maximum they can go per project.
Well, it's 2 projects.
Interesting point.
Can we take the extra
Yeah,
money
but-
from the other one and put it towards this one?
The reason we were able to get them both into one was because Ashley extended
The area.
the area that we were in, that's so.
Okay, Brian or Roy, you wanna tell us where we're gonna, how to crack this nut?
Sure, we can talk for a minute about that. So one of the options is to try and get more funding, of course, and I think like that will likely mean that the project gets pushed to next year. We could try and rebid the project now without some of the more time-consuming parts of the project, like pinning and grouting. But we feel that that's an important part of this project because of the setting and the way the river is really putting a lot of pressure on the roadway there. That process would also take some time and likely would eat into the construction period as well. So even rebidding now may work out that the project gets pushed back by a year into next season. So those are the 2 main options, I think, for this project right now. I did reach out to the 2 lowest bidders and ask them about their thoughts on if it was to be pushed out a year to next season, what that would mean for them. And they both seem to, there's two main aspects of that, and one is scheduling. And with all the flood repairs that are going on right now, both contractors are busy. They do, I believe, still have capacity to do this work as well. But they both expressed concern with, just the cost of materials going up from now until the next season.
Okay, I guess the question, I think I heard Picker say, is this really, I know it's one location, but is it two projects? Is the pinning different than the stabilization?
No, they're both pinning, they're both called for pinning.
They both call for pinning, because, I mean, how many times we did that in Irene, we did it in 98, we did that road. Are we, for a lack of a better term, washing money down the river and spending 540,000, and Irene or the next one could take it out, didn't take it this time because we didn't get quite as much as the rest of the state did. But is pinning gonna cure it, or is pinning gonna, well, maybe it would have helped for Irene, maybe it wouldn't have. But is good wash gonna wash the pinning just as well? I mean, if the road had gone here a week ago, we'd be looking at more federal money, and we could probably do it all, but it'd be more money. But because it didn't go, we're only gonna get 200,000 for the state, and I'm not sure we can find 340,000. Right?
Yeah.
Unless we apply for additional grants through other agencies, we wouldn't be eligible for another V-Trans grant for this project, but there might be other agencies. Jim Coda recommended Agency of Natural Resources through their floodplain resilience programs, or this pollution control, sediment control, see what kind of funding they have available, but then have to go through the grant cycles, so that would put us into next year.
Is this?
It messes up our paving grant too.
They can extend that too.
Is this, we looked at this, was that this year?
On our tour.
On our tour, was that this year?
Yeah,
We've looked at it for the last 3 years.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, hasn't it been several
Yes.
years?
Yes, it has.
So what's another year?
But weren't we going to, Peter, I think you suggested on the last bus tour, was if we could get in there and, I won't say a better term, channel that river, get
No.
it towards the mountain?
The-
The
no,
rock
the-
seems to, this big ledge seems to slide right towards the river, or towards the road. And there's
It does, and we could lock that bottom rock by filling that void, but that's something that you're gonna have to fight with the state on.
And is that a fight, Roy or Brian, that we can win? Are we washing money down the river? 540,000 by next Irene?
Yeah. If I can jump in for a sec, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. We looked at the sites all along the river and heard from you all about the failures and the putting the money and the rock back in. And that's really what drove us to a different alternative. We considered walls. I mean, if you create a seat for the stone, blocky stone, and pin it and grout it and create a strong base, it's gonna last a lot longer, right? The dry stack wall, when you're this tall and in this tight of a spot and sitting on ledge, and when the river, has a direct flow path at it and ice and flood, it's just, the riprap's just not gonna last long. Typical rate is like 10 years in this kind of setting, is sort of what we're seeing around the region. And the pinning just will buy you, it will buy you longer period of time, right? It just locks the whole bottom of that mass together. The other option is to go to the wall, but it's way more expensive, and it also kind of kills the aesthetic of the place. So when we reviewed that, if you recall, we basically landed back at the rock approach, which will kind of match what's out there, but this will be a little more robust. There are other sites where there's a little more space horizontally between the road and the river, and a slope is working, and it's going to work because there's just, you can batter the stone and stack it and slope it back, and it's going to be more stable because gravity is going to work with you. But in some of these oversteep in places, and what's shown on the screen here is, Brian and I, as we started this project, we kind of did a risk assessment of the whole area, and these two sites just really jump out, where you have no vegetation, the steepest spot, and you have the river directly impinging, and you have ledge underneath. So there was one other little spot that spot that had all these criteria that are ripe for erosion on the edge of the road embankment, but the other sites are not as bad. So I think hitting these red spots in the 2 project areas that are on the screen right now with this approach is more costly. It just takes a lot of time to create that stone to sit in, and we talked it over with Jim Code at V-Trans today, and that's why the bids are more expensive. It's not just a dried stack wall, which would be hard to be a bit less. It's gonna last longer. The other thing I wanted to say is there is a bit of money moving through the state through Vermont Emergency Management Building Resilient Community Fund, and this project has a lot of the characteristics of a lot of the projects they're funding right now. And honestly, this pot of money is small. The difference between the V-Trans grant and the bid is pretty small relative to the numbers they were seeing. So I did put an email into Stephanie Smith, the state hazard mitigation officer, to see if we get lucky and they have funds running around, or there's an application process we can apply for. If that really is, that's in my view the best fit for this to kind of bridge the gap. And I think if we bring money to that project through the V-Trans grant, there's a better chance we can get a grant from BEM to finish this one off. That's my 2 cents.
So those, the 2 yellow circles are the 2 areas that are gonna cost a minimum of 540,000 to do, or we're doing one or the other? Right, we're doing them both. And they are how many feet apart?
They're half mile apart.
But they're calling them one project.
Yes.
That
If
was
you're gonna close the road, you want them one project.
I could see Joel's brain working thing. If there were 2 projects, we could get 200,000 for this one and 200,000 for that one.
No, she wouldn't
do that.
She wouldn't split it?
No.
I guess Roy or Brian, if we were going to do one, which one do we do, the upper or the lower one?
I don't think we can, because
Or can we?
they've keyed it as one project.
Yeah.
both.
Oh, okay.
Another important element of this project is that they're gonna have to dig down one whole lane, take a whole lane of the road out and dig it down, and lower the elevation of that whole lane of road so they can access that part of the river directly with their equipment, and then build it back up again. So that's a huge, probably a huge part of the project cost in both places.
Well, the drilling and the pitting is the most expensive. It's the most labor intense.
I was looking at the breakdown that they had, and boy, there was a big difference in one of them between
Right.
the 2 lower bids. I was like, wow, like by $100,000.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, those are, contractors sort of have their view of kind of lumping and splitting things. And you can see a couple differences in the bidding, but in the end, the bids are actually really tightly grouped
Close, right?
for the work. So I guess I'm not sure how much stock we give to that, like whether one contractor really thought mobilization was the big number or the rock work was the big number. I mean, in the end, it's the bottom line, really. I think that's important. I don't know, Brian, if you have a thought from the bid tab.
Yeah, no, I it's definitely something that I noticed as well, that the 2 numbers, one was road reconstruction and slope reconstruction on the 2 lowest bids. There was kind of a big discrepancy in some of those numbers, but if you add those 2 items together, they kind of come back and they're pretty close.
One option tonight is to wait until the next meeting to make a final decision and see if we're able to drum up any additional money and explore those options.
I mean, we're gonna have to, because we
Yeah.
don't have $340,000.
I think our printer's broke right now.
What's that?
Our printer's broke right now.
The money, we picked the money off the tree long enough.
Well,
And we have the option, we will soon have, hopefully, a grant writer on staff. And so that will hopefully greatly benefit us going forward with a project like this. But as you stated, Val, it's going to be, you're obeying the grant cycles and when they come. And so it might be another year.
Right, yeah, and it's gonna take some time for that person to kind of get seated into the position. So the timing might not work out super well for this
one.
project, right?
Yeah.
I hesitate to mention this, but I'm going to.
Careful what you wish for.
Well, it's just a fact that we do still have over $400,000 of ARPA funding.
I know, but that was earmarked for a lot of other
Yeah,
projects.
earmarked for other things, and if by putting that on the table, I don't wanna jeopardize
Yeah,
the possibility of getting
And
other funding.
and we've got another project just to the east of us here, sitting here, right at the end of the
Right.
street. The Basin Street that we've
Right,
got a lot of energy and time in already, and some
right.
quite an investment.
It,
And we'd like to see that through too.
it's not on the agenda now, but I was planning at an upcoming meeting, the next time ARPA funds are on the agenda for discussion, I was going to make the recommendation that at least $200,000 be allocated to the Capital Roads Fund, just for these kinds of things. Just, we need it. And it's, whether it's this or another project after that, we'll need it.
Okay. So, we're gonna just regroup and try to
Find some more funds.
find some more funding.
Yes, I want to
Yeah,
mention
go
one
ahead.
more thing. So I think you all know that the fishing platform repair bid went out initially. We got no bidders, and then we used this opportunity because there was a lot of contractor interest to sort of rebid the fishing platform project. And the bidder, Masterson's, won both bids, and the fishing platform bid is within the budget of the FEMA grant, which is great news.
Yeah.
And so this leaves us, in consideration of what we do in the future, we have to respond to this bidder and other bidders about what's going to happen. And so I think that's something we need guidance from, like maybe we move forward on the fishing platform project, the money's available.
Well, that's the next thing on the agenda, but
Okay.
I see where you're going with Roy. I think if, at the least, from the board's perspective, we could say, we haven't made a decision for at least 2 weeks, and we're gonna try to find funding for this and additional funding for the road project.
Yeah.
Well,
And so
we'll hope to have a vote tonight on the fishing platform.
So Roy, a quick question, the bid for the fishing platform, was that like, we'll do that one as long as we get this one because our mobilization costs will be this, because we'll do them at the same time type of thing?
Yeah, well, this is part of it. So we have to explore with the contractor, like, okay, here's the setting. We don't have enough money for Lincoln Road. We do for the fishing platform. Does that, if we separated the two projects, does that bid still hold? And then there's a timing on the Lincoln Road, like if we can't do it now and we reach out to a couple places and one of them says, hey, we got money, it's coming your way. If we get super lucky, then we're in good shape. Otherwise, do we try to retain their bid and see where that goes, or do we just rebid the whole project? I just want to throw that out there because, and maybe we just punt for a week or two until your next meeting to see if we've had any luck with money. But I guess I didn't want to jump ahead, but it's also hard to totally decouple these two because we're going to go back to a contractor who actually was the apparent low bidder for both projects.
I think we need to put it on hold for at least 2 weeks,
Okay.
both projects, because I just, to ask them to rebid it at this point, if you're gonna ask them to rebid the same thing, all you're gonna do is upset them.
Yeah.
I mean, and another 2 weeks isn't the end of the world. I doubt either one of them was gonna mobilize in the next 2 weeks.
No, not with how busy they are with stuff.
Right.
But I think he's saying if they have to rebid it, they're talking about maybe next year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, we bid in the winter.
Yeah.
What's the thought about if we get a positive indicator on money or a grant, like asking them to sort of like stay on board so we don't have to rebid it? Or at that point, would you lean towards wanting to rebid the project?
I'd really like to see it done this year. If we think we've got the money,
Okay.
then we look at the option of maybe borrowing it if we know that we've got money coming. I just, the longer it sets the way it is, the more chance we run of losing the road.
Well, there's always a revolving loan fund if we need to borrow it.
But I don't know how grants work if you borrow the money ahead of time either, so.
Right. You may say, well, you paid for it, we're not gonna now supplement you back.
It depends on the program.
Yeah, I think we ought to, well, at least a minimum of 2 weeks until we let
Well, the next
Valerie,
meeting is 3 weeks,
3 weeks, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
August 14th,
The bids just came in last Friday, correct?
correct.
So I don't think that's gonna kill anybody by no means 3 weeks.
I mean, I guess we reach out to them and say, we're looking for the money, we'll have an answer whether we're gonna go or not in 3 weeks.
It would be good to clarify with Masterson if the Lincoln Road project does get postponed, if they're still willing and interested to move forward with the fishing platform
Right,
at that bid, right?
right.
Because they're nearby, so maybe their mobilization cost really is that low.
Yeah. Okay,
One other question for you all. So there's 2 other bidders, one of which was less than $2,000 over them, but we've Brian called references and both of the top bidders got great recommendations. So should we at least go to the second and third bidder and say, do we say we've accepted the other bid, or you're not the low bidder, or do we just hold off on everything and kind of leave everybody in hold mode? I want to see if you have any guidance.
Well, they all already know where they are as far as where the bids fell.
Yeah.
The 2 low bidders are local contractors. They're right in this area.
Yeah.
So
I would just say wait the 3 weeks, because in
Right.
3 weeks, the lowest bidder may say, I can't do it. You know, if you
right,
don't
I
have a
wouldn't wanna
decision
lose the
for me
second
right
bidder,
now, right?
bidder over that little peedly amount, $1,100 to say it. Right,
Okay. So we'll just hold off on any communication, say we're gonna wait for 3 weeks to make a decision and try to sum up some money.
so Valerie, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna call for a vote on that number 1 then?
Or number 2.
Or number 2, do you wanna
Well,
vote
if we're postponing to the next meeting, then there's no action to
Right.
take except that,
either on number 2 either?
right, apparently.
We didn't
Well,
wanna-
we could see if they're interested to do that solely at that price.
Right, that's what I was wondering, that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
I think
project.
that's what Roy said he was gonna do, reach out to them and see if that bid will be the same. If we can't do the other one, that they would be doing that. So if Roy comes back and they say, yeah, they're on board, then we can say,
Well, do you want to make a motion to that effect as a contingent? Approved
let me-
subject to, or something?
Okay, I'll read it, number 2, regular business, consider Eagle Park University Fishing Platform project bids and award of a contract may include deliberation executive session. Okay, we know what those bids are, and Michelle, you wanna?
I'll make a motion that we award the bid to Masterson and Son for $70,600. The caveat that Roy reach out to them that they're still willing and able to do it at that price.
If decoupled from the.
Right, if decoupled from Lincoln Road.
If Lincoln Road is postponed,
Right.
decoupled and postponed.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Did you hear that, Ian? You all set, Ian? Yeah. Okay, any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay,
All right. Well, thank you, Brian and Roy.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
We'll circle back on this week.
One thing, just to bring up the ARPA funds. So I know we have 400,000 left, but looking at the projects that the town has funded already, we have 11 projects left out of that top 20 list that still have yet to be funded. So if we decide to use ARPA money or even set aside 200,000, a great deal of those projects would no longer be able to be funded unless we can find other funding sources.
okay. Okay, number 3, discussion of potential long-term options to stabilize the Briggs Hill Road slope failure. As the public may or may not know, we lost part of the slope from Briggs Hill down to the Lincoln Road that goes up by Bartlett's, slid, and the road is partially undermined. So Eric Coda, our road foreman, he is present and has given us an update.
It's still there.
It's still there.
It didn't come down anymore after last weekend.
Well, it's eating into the road a little bit more. It was right on the edge and we're into it now probably, what do you think, 18 inches, 2 foot? About that. Into that lane right now for probably a 4-foot section.
You've been talking with 2 different contractors, 2 different approaches?
Yeah, I've been talking, actually 3.
Oh, 3.
I got Adam Driscoll is coming in, this week to do a temporary stabilization of the road. It's just gonna be able to get us by, until we get a permanent solution, and I'm talking to, 2 different companies. One is more towards sheet pylons, driving them, and the other one more is towards, bank stabilization. I haven't gotten anything back from the sheet pylons yet. He was contacting his guy where he gets them from, and he was hoping to hear back from him, by today, so he could give me something for tonight, but he didn't hear back from his supplier.
That's kind of like you guys did in your town, in Starksboro, on the State Prison Hollow Road.
Correct.
Right, they drove sheet pylons.
They drove sheet pylons, and there they had to, but depending on the soil, you may have to pour a wall to hold the top of the pylons.
They had to pour a wall at State Prison Hollow Road, and tie it back into the sheet pylons.
Dig the road out, pour a concrete wall under the road.
Oh, okay.
And then fill in between, and the dirt in between holds the road from, holds the sheets from tipping over. But it all depends on what's there to drive the sheets into.
Right, and
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the company that is gonna, consider doing the sheet pylons, they would wanna do some test bores, in the road and on the bank to see what type of soil we got.
It's called gravel.
To see if they need that barrier under the road.
Of course we will.
Oh, yeah, I'm figuring that out.
I know. What's the road stabilization mean? What does that mean? What are they?
Shotcrete, they wanna shotcrete the bank, and
Yeah,
What's shotcrete?
it's basically spray concrete on.
they
To
got,
anchor it
if you
horizontally.
guys wanna look, I printed them off, I didn't know if Valerie did. Did you, Valerie?
I printed them, but I did not forward them. I just got them late this afternoon.
Okay, yeah, me too, so I actually ended up printing them off if you guys wanna look. So this is this is the second slope down to the hill,
Yep.
and this is the actual slide one here on that one.
So this is what they used, down on the railroad job.
Yep.
Down in Middlebury.
And the company that just sent us this afternoon,
this is what
provided
we
2
sprayed on.
separate
Right.
proposals depending on the length. So there's 2 areas of Briggs Hill Road that are undermined. And so one proposal is 157 linear feet and the other one is 200 and something linear feet.
Yeah, cause there's two different areas.
Yeah,
But the first one of those that slid.
oh yeah.
So that one, this one here.
This one hasn't slid.
Right, well, you can see the cracks.
Right, it's ready to go.
So
More
this
water.
is site 2,
Okay.
and that one's site 1.
And this is lower than this one?
No,
Lower?
that one's the top of the
Higher
hill.
up, okay. So this is the one that's gonna have the spray
Both of them,
Oh, so,
they both will.
oh, I see.
on that,
I
that road
didn't
stabilization.
understand it correctly at first, okay, so those are 2 separate,
Yeah,
Two
they're
separate
2
sites.
separate sites.
not just alternatives for the same site.
So
Right,
you don't have a
exactly.
picture of
Okay.
the road piling?
Oh, good, no.
He had a drawing or something.
No, he didn't,
Always send us.
his supplier didn't get back to him, so he doesn't
Okay.
have.
I saw somebody's email, had little blocks, 40 blocks.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
it's
that's.
That's the temporary.
That was
That's
a
a
temporary.
temporary.
That's just to get it so we can get the road full width
Mhm.
back until we get, till we figure out what we wanna do for a, permanent solution.
And we're being somewhat vague on these descriptions because depending on if we go out to bid for these projects, we don't want to disclose
Right.
a lot of
Right,
information that
information
would
on
jeopardize competitive bidding.
Is there any way to make the concrete blocks the permanent solution? Because I thought, hadn't we discussed that for Upper Notch Road? That kind of design, but for this one, it won't work.
No, this one, Ian, is, I don't know if you've had a chance to go up and look at it or not, but this one here is way too steep and too much of an incline. I mean, you're talking.
And a lot's been lost.
Yeah, a lot's been lost. There's a lot of rows of block if you start from the bottom to go up through.
I'm already worried about the 44 blocks not staying up there. I already had a conversation with Eric.
Yeah. And like I said, that is.
It's always
that
a
is
possibility.
A possibility. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, but that is definitely a possibility.
Did you confirm whether the town would own the blocks afterwards?
I would assume so.
I would assume so, since I'm paying for it, but I told Valerie, she's right, I told Valerie that I would confirm that with Adam, just for confirmation, and when I talked to him today, I completely forgot all about it.
That way we could use them for something else after.
In the upper
No,
notch, where we wanna.
I'm 99.9% sure that they would be ours.
Yeah.
Because he's not gonna, if we hire somebody else to come in and
take them down
and do the wall, he's not gonna come and take his blocks back.
No.
No. But I will reach out to him tomorrow and confirm it. Definitely confirm it. I forgot today when I was talking.
So Eric, if we went with this spray foam, whatever, or spray concrete, that's more of a permanent.
It is. Yes,
It's
that is
permanent, and this could be done. So how would you fill it from back down to the slide? With more rock? Figure, or what? How do you do this?
I don't know what their intent.
They don't intend, by the way that if you read the description on it, Beaker, by the way that they're doing it, they're not going all the way down to the bottom.
No, I know they're not going all the way to the bottom, but how do they fill the gap so that you have a shoulder? What are you using there?
They use drain stone. Behind the wall, they'll use a combination of drain stone and road base to fill up between what's left of the road and the wall that they build. So the wall, if I read it right in there, that wall will stick out 3 feet beyond the guardrails.
Behind it.
Right, but if you look at the picture, they're sloping it and then putting the shotcrete on the outside, so they're doing their footer.
Yep.
And then they're sloping it, so that material has to be on there prior to that
The
shotcrete.
way that they do it, this is the way that they do it. So you go down to the bank, you lock it in there.
Yeah.
And then you go up and you have a longer one, of course, and then they fill, like you say, they fill in between. And then your guardrails go in that, and that's supposed to be all like drainage stone and road base.
Yeah, okay.
Well, this is a footer here, but what causes, if we don't fill that slope all the way down to the river?
Yeah, so what the guy told me was.
Lincoln Road.
Here, where they end, there is what he calls a pyramid, that they dig into the bank and they pour a pyramid. I don't know, that's what he calls it, and it sticks above the ground a foot or two. And then they build their wall on top of that up.
Okay. So.
Like I said, I don't wanna,
Could
like Valor said, I don't wanna reveal too much.
Right, could this permanent thing,
I am showing an illustration though.
could this permanent thing be done this year?
Yeah.
So, I hate to kick the can down the road like we just did the Lincoln Road project, but are we gonna throw Adam's project as a temporary, and then if in 2 weeks they come back with, in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, when we have our next meeting, we know all the pricing.
We have no idea if FEMA is gonna fund this.
Come on this, right? I was gonna
This
say.
is just,
Right.
I'm just starting the ball rolling. I don't know what FEMA's gonna want, if they're gonna want it engineered, if they're gonna accept the two that I got, talking with now, if they're gonna accept them the way that they draw them up.
It could be 6 months to a year before we have an answer.
Right.
And we need to, right now, we
Before
have a section where we don't have road in
Anything,
the travel
right,
portion of the road.
Then I believe.
Could we make that road for 3 weeks to a month, or even 6 months? I hate to.
Do what?
No,
One way.
not without, well,
You'd have to have
Some-
lights.
Which we'd have to rent.
you'd have to rent.
Also, if the Lincoln Road project goes forward, we'll need to have that road open
Yeah, well,
as an alternative, well, should have it
you,
open.
you could still do one lane if
Yeah,
you have the lights.
yeah,
But then it would have to be rented. The lights that we have, the charge on them is only good for a day, and then that means we gotta pull them back,
Right, yeah,
Charge
I
them.
get them.
you know? So these we would have to rent, and they would have to be the legal ones, the double-headed ones, being that it's gonna be a federal project and a state project down on Lincoln Road. I imagine you're gonna wanna be somewhat compliant. At least maybe we should, you never know.
Yeah, they're about 50 grand a month.
and,
They're how much?
50 grand a month, I think.
To rent them?
Yes.
ouch.
Holy crap.
And it's my understanding that, projects over $250,000 through FEMA require a sealed bid procurement process.
Yeah,
So, that we would be looking at that kind of,
Yeah, this isn't happening.
yeah,
This, right here, we're looking on the
either
screen.
approach,
either approach.
yeah, would be over that, so we would.
And you might even be, like Michelle said, you might even be in the next year, depending on what approach, depending on the time frame of, winter sets in.
And whether FEMA,
Whether-
have we got a disaster declaration yet?
We haven't received it, but there's a number, and Addison County is included in the statewide disaster declaration. It's not yet included in the individual assistance.
Right, that's a bummer.
Yeah, yet, folks are still,
But the governor has approved this county. He approved 2 more counties.
I believe so.
Or not the governor, the president has approved 2 more, this county, yeah.
I think that was for individual assistance,
Oh,
Yeah.
Municipal is approved.
okay.
for home damage and things like that.
So regarding the concrete blocks, what is the potential for them failing? Do we know that? 'Cause it seems like we're gonna need to use those while we move towards something like what was just on the screen.
Yeah, it's like Michelle has a concern of the blocks failing, rolling down. And I'm not gonna lie, that is a possibility depending on how much rain we get, how quick the rain comes.
Yeah.
He's gonna do his best to dig a shelf and to get back to good soil and everything to stack them on. And, try to divert the water as best as he can. But
Is he stepping them back?
yes.
Yeah, and they're 4x4s?
2x2x6, something like that, whatever. They're the waste blocks, Peter.
Waste blocks are 4x4 or 2x.
2x2x4.
They're 2 foot thick,
Right.
4x4
Yeah. So,
waste blocks, like
He's
what we
u-
used up on the notch.
so that's what he's using for blocks, is them.
And those are, if the bottom row gets set and they're stepped back a couple inches each block,
They should be
they
okay.
should be fine.
And knock on wood, that, upper notch, all this rain that we've had and all this stuff, didn't move at all. Did not.
So if we put those in, would that give us maybe a year of time in terms of figuring out the FEMA stuff and what the spray concrete might cost and to get that in order? Like, do those blocks give us that time, do you think?
I think so. If they're put in there, if they're gonna stay, they're gonna stay. I mean, they're
Okay.
not,
And then even if we did the concrete spray like here, figure we wouldn't go and take the blocks out.
yeah,
We would?
Yeah,
yeah.
because in order for that to work, the spray, that bank has, according to,
They have to drill back.
they have to
those
drill back,
dead
and that has to be re-sloped for some reason.
They drill in these,
Oh, I was thinking those blocks would be maybe 25, 30 feet off the edge of the road down.
no,
Halfway down.
No, they're
they
just gonna be
drill,
on the other side of the guardrail.
Oh,
Yeah.
The top ones, I know.
Yep.
and these guys drill.
okay.
That's what, in the picture she had, this picture, when this picture was up, that's what these are.
Mm-hmm.
They go back in and they hold everything and then the shotcrete over the.
So it makes
over
it
the
all
wire.
one big block.
Okay.
They did it. if you go to the south side of the tunnel and look, that they did that whole bank above the retaining wall of that.
Right, I remember that now.
Train tunnel in Middlebury.
I mean, it seems like we have to do the blocks. We don't really have any other option unless there is another way to do what we need to do. And we know the cost and we know it can be done. So I feel like we should just get that done and hope that they stay in place and then figure out our master plan with the spray concrete.
Yeah, I mean, it could be done with stone as well, but you'd have to start further down and it'd be a lot fatter and, by the time I would say I'm 99% sure it would hold, but there's always a possibility that it doesn't.
Yeah.
In the proposal that we received this afternoon, there are a number of details in their scope of work that they would expect the town to do.
Yeah, I kind of read that through there, and to me, other than doing what they do on the bank, they really don't do a heck of a lot.
No, so there'd be a lot of responsibility on the part of the town to deal with a lot of
On
stuff.
top of the numbers that are in there?
On top of the numbers that are in, yeah.
Yeah,
I read that today while you guys were having your executive session in the beginning, and it kind of threw me off there that all they're dealing with is just putting their stuff on and that's it.
yeah.
Because it's kind of like when, years ago, was it after Irene or after 98, you did behind the school? 98.
I mean, you could do that there. You'd have to get down over the bank, you could do it in both, but I didn't, Eric and I talked about it, and if FEMA is gonna pay for it and it has to be engineered, if they came up with stone stabilization, then we do it. If not, we do something to get us to the point. If you put the stone in there and FEMA says no, and you gotta pull all that out, it's not like pulling these blocks out.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I'm 99.9% sure it would hold, but.
And the stoning, if we wrapped all the way to the river, the Lincoln Road back up, would cost us more than probably what Adam.
Yes.
Right, because that stuff those big rock is expensive.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking considerably more material.
Right.
I would start, I don't know if you've.
Would we at least try to kind of?
So I would start, he's gonna start right here.
Yeah.
I would start way down here with the stone.
Okay.
So this would, you'd start out with probably about 6 foot wide here, and you'd come all the way up through with 6-8 foot of stone all the way up to the road, so you're
And
talking.
then we grass the rest of it or try to plant some trees, because you can't just leave that earth there, it's gonna keep washing.
You leave the stone there.
No, all the way to the river, all the way to Lincoln Road,
You saying the rest of it where you don't stone?
which you don't stone.
At
least try
that
to
point, I don't think I'd worry about it.
Spray it with some,
It's fairly flat once you get down.
Once you get down to a certain point, it kind of levels off.
And that's how far you'd have to go with the stone to
we
make sure.
wouldn't spray it with some,
I mean, you could.
We could get the hydro seeder and spray up in there.
just hope it would, and the netting, maybe, I don't know.
Wouldn't it?
Don't they have,
I don't think it's necessary. There's trees and everything down there to hold that.
Yeah.
I mean, the mud came down through in between the trees, so.
okay, so what's your guys' options here? What do you want? Do the bank stabilization to get the road 2 ways, stabilized, and then continue to try to find funding for this through FEMA?
We'll get more information on the options.
Yeah, hopefully the other guy will get back to me by the end of the week.
On the sheet pilings.
With the sheet pilings, so.
And so the next step would be at the next agenda item or next agenda meeting, kind of lay them out side by side again and decide which direction you prefer to go. And then we come up with a scope of work and try to put that out to bid. And at the same time, sign into the FEMA public assistance process, get these projects on the radar.
See what they want us to do.
Mhm.
The only other question I have, since I'm working with them, the 2 that I'm in now, do you want me to do a 3rd one with just stone, so we have that as an option as well, or not worry about that option?
I almost think that FEMA's gonna make us engineer it for the money we're talking here.
Well, that's what my feeling is too.
So I don't think I would go any
Don't waste
further than
time.
just those two for right now.
For
Until
right
we
now,
figure
till-
that out, yeah.
Alright, that's what I was thinking, I just
Don't
wanna
waste your
make sure.
time.
Okay. So,
So at the moment, do we restrict how big of a vehicle uses Briggs Hill? Will that, I mean,
Is he gonna have, he's gonna have it fixed by the end of the week? We probably should until it's fixed. I
He
mean,
should, he said he'd get to it this week, I reached out to him today, like I said there, and told him he's good to go. And so he said he would get to it this week. I don't know if he'll finish it this week, but he'll at least get
He'll be
started.
there, yeah.
Yeah,
So is that road closed off on that side
No.
totally? No.
no, there's just a,
there's
Cones.
cones and barricades to divert traffic around it.
Yeah, but if somebody comes up on it at night.
oh, it's
That's what the
reflective.
headlights are for.
I mean, they're reflective cones and
yeah,
barricades,
reflective
but
cones.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can see, I mean, most people right now,
No,
they
it's-
know it's there and they're being cautious when they come to that area to make sure, you know, if somebody's there, they stop, or vice versa, they're letting each other go, they're not trying to cram through there.
Do we have signs besides the cones up, or should we, if we're gonna, when we.
I haven't, I've got just the cones.
Maybe a sign at the top and bottom, single, road narrows or something.
Picture.
Yeah, I don't,
I've been up there.
I don't
Okay,
have
so it's not
it,
out as far as I thought it was.
that's early.
That's
Okay,
all
So
right.
how far out?
About
I
two-
moved it out
about-
the other night, another couple
About
of
two,
feet Sunday
about
night.
2 feet out into the road right now where the
Yeah.
barricade is.
Yeah, and there's a little white, striping or marking where they
Yeah.
identified.
The last rainstorm that we got over the weekend did not
Change.
change it as of right now, has not changed.
Okay.
But as far as the sign wise goes, I don't have any signs that say like 1 lane ahead. I do have one that say 1 lane ahead.
Didn't we look at this, the last year Peter was
Further down,
Yeah.
about sheet piling,
further
Yeah,
down.
further down on the second.
on the second
side.
slight,
Yeah.
step 2.
Yeah.
Okay,
This one here, we didn't really pay much attention to because it wasn't doing anything.
Right. Till the
Yeah.
start left.
I'm more worried about the liability if somebody decides
Yeah.
to like go through the flipping cones and then sue them
Tumbles
down.
down.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, the guardrails will hold them unless it's a really small car.
Or they take the guardrail.
okay. Everybody-
I was thinking more of the lines of, can we put one of those big cement things, or if they decide to do it,
Jersey
the cones
barrier,
in front of it and
probably
then just
not.
let it go.
Not a good idea
No,
either.
the only, nowadays, you have to use the
Reflective.
water.
Oh, yeah, the water.
The water barricade, so that way if it hits, it doesn't destroy, and you can't use the cement things anymore, or you're not
You can
supposed to.
use them, but they have to tail off. They
Yeah,
have to go out of sight. They have to be hooked together. There's,
there's a lot of stipulations,
Yeah.
and I don't have the actual legal barricades. Unfortunately, they're a little pricey.
Okay, well, discussion of potential long-term options, what do you wanna do, people?
we need to wait and see what
wait and
FEMA
see what
says.
FEMA says and get more
We're doing a lot of
information.
wait and seeing tonight.
We are,
It's out of our control.
wait and see, I'm gonna write on this one, people, wait and see.
I'll get, hopefully, like I said, the other person will get back to me this week, and then I'll give it to Valerie what I come up with, and, we'll-
Short term, we're doing the blocks,
Blocks are gonna be started at least
This
by this week.
this week, okay.
Given sort of the heavy rains that we've had, obviously, over the number of weeks, do we have any sort of list or database of other potential areas that could fail if rains and weather like this continues? I'm just curious.
The lower notch would be the one that I'd worry the most about, because apparently a beaver dam or something is let go up on top of the mountain, and water's coming in a different place. And it's washed the road out twice. That's the area by the berry farm that they were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And I don't know how all I can figure is that there was a beaver dam there and the water was going out the north end and coming down the mountain somewhere else. And when the beaver dam let go on the south end, it put the water.
That's on lower notch.
But they're probably busy putting that back together, those beavers are.
Yeah, I would assume they are, but I'll tell you what, it moved The other night when we went up and unplugged it last Sunday night, there were rocks like this in the culvert that the water brought down through, so, I mean, water's moving pretty good at that one little site.
And that's not the brook that crosses by South Mountain Drive either.
No.
That was the one, when I looked at it, I thought it was South Mountain Drive the other night, Sunday night when we went out.
Yeah.
And I didn't get all the way to the site, because I was on the north end or the south end of Notch Road.
Right. I mean, I know that for a lot of this, we're reacting as things happen, but I'm wondering if we're able to sort of put together some sort of comprehensive list of stuff, potentials, which I know we kind of have, but you know, I just imagine this kind of weather continuing year after year, and us battling and fighting to save these roads and wondering where we're going to get money to do that from.
Well, I think, Ian, to your question is, I talked to Valerie the other day about it, was, you know, when they say like that, I asked Eric, the first part of tonight was about replacing that culvert. If it says a 3 foot, maybe we ought to put a 4 or 5 in. You know, double these sizes, some of, and if I tell you we could put some money into some things with culverts. People think a culvert in the middle of August when it's not rained in a week or two and it's dry, no water's running through it, they'll say, really need a culvert here? You saw it the other night coming down through when we helped Mrs. Lund out of her house and water's running into her garage and water's flowing through there going, yeah, bigger culvert might have helped a lot. I don't know, but it, like Peter said, 2 foot rocks were stuck in them.
Well, those culverts up on Upper Meehan held out that you put in there in the rain.
Yeah.
Well, tonight, that little shower we got tonight, for the first time, culverts up on our end, we're running muddy water and running full. And we haven't had that for any of this rain. And it was just that 15 minutes that it rained that did that.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Alrighty, so we don't have this anymore for number 3. Consider number 4, consider applying to the ACRPC Transportation Advisory Committee for a scoping study for upgrading LaFrance Road from class 4 to a class 3.
So as I noted, the Regional Planning Commission is soliciting proposals. They do this every year, and the projects are typically around $15,000 to $20,000. We've gotten several in recent years. And given the recent rains and the damage again to LaFrance Road, this question has come up a number of times over recent years. And this question is simply to study the question of whether it's practical to upgrade it to class 3, what would be involved, what would be the benefits, what would be the costs, and should it be done or not?
No. We've been trying to get rid of roads. This is one we don't have, we don't want it.
Yeah. Why, we've had them in here from Broadfield Estates to Heath Road, you know, some of these private roads, say, why don't you take it over and.
But this,
Yeah, but we're
I mean,
fixing.
are they just looking for some more work, ARC?
No, I think what they're looking
So-
at, Eric's putting in the time and money and effort to
Right.
fix the culvert, to ditch
Well, not
it.
only that, but the road washed out a little bit, so we fixed it. And the culvert at the end, the penstock, the end of it washed out some. They were lucky enough, they have a little Kubota with a backhoe, and they were lucky enough to get the debris away from the inlet to stop it from eroding, to get it back into the culvert again. The reason why Valerie and I were talking about it is because to replace that 6 foot penstock, you're talking 12 grand to put a new culvert in there. And if you don't get any FEMA money, you know, for example, that's all on us. And the town, as of now, being a class 4 road, have to maintain bridges and culverts. So that would be an automatic that we would have to fix.
Unless you redesignated a trail.
Unless you do that.
but there are a number of residences down there.
Yeah, there is.
So that was the reason that we were discussing it, I mean, because of the maintenance. And it's, like I said,
It's minimal
it is, it's actually minimal. I'm thinking more of, like, if Ian is right, where these storms keep coming and keep coming, I'm just trying to save a little bit of money if we can get some state aid money on it, some FEMA money on it, because FEMA doesn't pay
For class 4.
for class 4 roads.
Right.
though. They will though, if the residents get, you know, if it's
Yes.
classified and the residents get stranded, they will pay.
Right, they will pay for that, so.
So, I mean, I just, for what it's gonna cost you to gravel and grade and
Plow
plow
and sand.
and,
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean, even if it's a class 3 road, doesn't necessarily mean that we have to do anything different than we're doing.
how do you figure?
I think
Right,
that-
we'll say,
Right, I mean-
we do Harvey Road, it's class 3, we Cole Road's class 3,
Yeah.
Harvey's class 4.
Huh?
Harvey's class 4.
but we plow and sand it.
No, I'm just, the only
That's
reason I
because we
said that
haven't
is
come up
because
with that.
we've
This is
never
what we're
done
gonna
it
do for
before.
class 4 yet. We don't have a policy on that yet.
You know, we've never done it before, and if you change it to, you're probably right, we're gonna have to do, but it's gonna be, the grading and the graveling are gonna be minimal that we do on it. The most that we would end up doing, Peaker's right, we would end up having to plow it. That would be the most,
So turn around and down
we
there.
would definitely have to put a turnaround in down there somewhere.
You know how those upper notch people get when they get their road graded?
Believe it or not, when my uncle had all that property, that was a town road initially, way
Right.
back.
It went all the way down through and came out by the Rose's camp.
Camp.
Yeah.
Right,
And,
Years ago.
that road's a little rough now down through there.
No,
You got what, 2 brooks
No, way
feeding
past,
feeding
up
across
the
there?
Rose's side, it's a little rough.
No, Nate.
Masterson fixed it
Oh, they
all
did
up.
fix it all up?
Oh, yeah, they were, because,
Well, there's a guy building a house up there,
well.
about a mile up in there.
Yeah, but Masterson's got a roller and, what was up there, roller and a mini excavator when we went up,
I don't know.
or a skid steer.
Yeah.
There's something he's got up there and he fixed, made it nice, from the last resident, I don't remember her name.
Kathy LaFrance.
Yes, okay, from her place down to where you go to that, where you make your left to go
Oh, I'm
down.
talking on the other end, coming in from the Rose's camp.
Oh, okay, well, that upper end up there, he's got that all fixed up nice. And they widened it, cut trees, all
So
nine
why
yards.
do we wanna own it? Why do we wanna?
Like we were talking, it was just more of the getting a little state money,
How much state money do you think we're gonna get?
not
for that?
much.
All
But
right.
my thing is more of FEMA stuff, and something happens to get reimbursed for the culvert. My
But
biggest
if
thing was
it's,
that
if it's
penstock.
bad enough, if it's bad enough so it takes that penstock out, it ought to be bad enough so it's a disaster. so that-
Disaster and
I mean,
strength.
that's where I wouldn't mind if Ballard could work with FEMA and with the owner, with the residents of that road, say, we don't wanna take it over, but we're willing to put pen to a letter, paper, and try to help you apply for a new penstock or a new culvert. You know, if they qualify. I wouldn't mind lending
The
out.
town would be responsible.
The town
to do
would
it.
have to
Yeah,
do
it would be
that.
us
Towns.
that have to do it. So
We're
what I'm saying is if
responsible for
it
it
would
right
have to be, if it was declared a disaster declaration, then we would get money. If it wasn't, if it just washed out in a freak storm, it, like he said, it'd be $12,000 on us just for the tube.
Just for the two.
Which we'd have
Or
to
we
do
go
anyway.
snake the penstock out.
You could do that too. But yeah, so that was my only thought.
I just think that there's way more cost involved than,
Over time,
Yeah.
for life. What you take.
you know, you get down in there and get a plow truck stuck in the winter time or.
That would be easy to do too.
Oh, I know, I've been down there.
Those people keep it clean all year, so why would you wanna take up that expense?
And they're used to dealing with it now.
They are.
I know it's their issue, so.
Nope.
I'm a no, but
It was a thought, that's all.
Okay,
never know if you don't ask.
Yeah.
Alright.
Go.
do we need
Ian,
to
you
vote
wanna
on
say
that?
anything else?
Yeah, Ian, you wanna comment on?
We haven't heard from you on that one.
Sorry, we kinda.
Well, I don't have the history of knowing the roads like you guys do. No, it seems like, I think, like you've discussed, the amount of money that we could potentially get by changing the classification doesn't seem to benefit us that much. If we knew that we had the option to have a larger amount come in to potentially help us with that, I think I could be persuaded, but it doesn't sound like it's gonna help us in that great a way. And I know that we are discussing trying to sort of remove roads from our roster just to improve and be able to make it more manageable for the town to look after the roads we already have.
You know, there are 3 or 4 places down on Beaver Meadows. I'd hate like hell to take that one over too.
Mhm.
You know, that's a class 4.
Yeah.
There's so many
But-
now that you take over and we deal with it, don't
The only, no, I shouldn't say.
we? Yeah,
Then
don't,
don't.
I won't. I'll
don't.
keep it
Okay.
to myself.
Yeah,
You know where I was going with this, didn't you?
yeah. All right.
Are there any other ideas that the select board would want us to apply for? The previous ones were the sidewalk scoping study for Airport Drive, the Lincoln Road intersection study, and
And I was gonna wonder,
Munsell.
where is?
The
where do we
Munsell
are?
Ave Road, Munsell Roads
that was
sidewalk
different.
study.
That was a bike ped grant through V-Trans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a bigger chunk of money. And there was one other one, I'm not remembering what it was, that we got through the Regional Planning Commission.
The
Can we-
speed study. One of those.
No, I don't think we did, but maybe we should. Maybe that's what we should do with it.
They did a speed study.
We
They,
did get a grant.
they did one
years ago
about
for
maybe
stop
5 or
sign
6
building.
years ago. They tend to,
Yeah.
we can do another and they'll happily come, but they tend to prioritize other towns that haven't done it within the last 5 years.
But anyway,
Or we skip it this year and focus on another.
I can give it some thought. I'll take a gander at it.
Okay, well, the application is due on Tuesday, the 8th, and I will not be in town to do it, so it would have to be this week.
think fast, Ian.
Let me go.
I think I
Okay.
can't find anything.
Oh, actually, I would be in town. So it's next week, I'll not be in town.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
consider options for updating the town-owned Seth Hill Waterworks in Lincoln Forest Conservation Plan that expires on April 2024. This is kind of, we just gotta renew it up for another 10 years, right?
Correct.
Or
We
current use
received
program.
a scope of work from David Brin this afternoon. I forwarded that along.
Mhm.
It's a pretty detailed scope of work. He estimates the cost to kind of re-inventory things to be $1,750. And that's presuming that the select board and the community's objectives are the same, which are basically habitat protection and wise management of the land. I don't believe timbering is part of it, but the sugar
Sugaring is okay.
operation is part of it.
Yeah,
God,
So-
what's your pleasure?
I wouldn't think it'd taken that long. He's already done all the footwork.
Right.
The map won't change.
So can,
Just
Can't
gotta walk.
imagine the map will change much unless we've done something up there.
Right.
so what,
I think you just-
why do we own this and why do we still own this?
We tried to sell it years ago, just history for you, and we
Yeah.
tried to sell it years ago, and Peter Ryan got up at town meeting and said, we are not in the habit of selling land, we own it, we're keeping it. And the board at that time, I was on the board at that time, and we had asked the voters if we could sell it. Because it really, we'll never use the water from it again. We still own obviously, we still have the right of way all the way down through. There was some talk at one point of doing some sort of hydro off of that line, but it's only a 4-inch line, and there was an issue with dumping the water, believe it or not, dumping the water into the river was an issue.
Didn't we get from the Energy Commission years ago, Peter, when I first got on the board, was turning the old, if you're going up there, the penstock, or whatever you call it, where the water used to be intake, came into the little building, which now is probably destroyed and gone. Putting a hydro right there at that building,
Way up there?
way up there. I thought there was looking at putting a little, and it wasn't going to generate enough power
I wouldn't think it would right at the mouth.
Ian, this is where we used to get the water from.
for the town.
That
Yeah,
serves the
no,
town.
I knew that. I'm just curious, like, are we ever gonna use it? If we sell it, can that benefit other projects and other things that the town is doing? Would we ever have to use it up there, or is it beneficial for us to consider selling it? Because it might, might
I
benefit
mean,
us
we get
financially.
money from, do we get money from the federal government for that?
No.
We get
No,
money
we're
from
in
the
a current
sugaring
use.
operation that
Yeah.
pays the taxes.
Yeah, not
Okay.
much.
We
but-
may have to modify that agreement.
Uh-huh.
Do we know how much it's worth? How many acres is it?
About 112, I think, 117, somewhere in there, isn't it, Valerie?
113 acres.
113, 112.
Wow.
We could subdivide it and, create a couple housing lots up there.
Right.
That would
I mean,
go, that's property of the water department, so it would go to the water department.
Right.
It was bought with water department funds, I was told. I mean, it's
I don't know
deeded
about
to the
that.
town.
I don't know who pays the town, I
The
don't know.
town
I
pays
think the
I believe
town-
that, no, I believe they come out of the water budget. I've seen it on the
Well,
water budget.
well, if it would go to the water
Taxes.
department, that would be beneficial since the water department needs that. Especially with the projects that are gonna be happening in the next decade. Just a thought,
I
I,
think,
you know,
I
obviously I
think it's
don't have
like
the history.
$1,200 in taxes a year and we make,
300 something.
Oh, I thought it was
Like,
less than
No, I
that.
think we saved that. I think
Yeah.
it's several $1,000s in taxes.
It was
but
about
it's reduced.
3,000. I think it's down
I
to,
think it's more like 300, isn't it $350?
I was gonna say 346, 356,
Less than
something like that.
$500.
it's less than $500 for taxes on it.
Mhm.
Jill popped on. What do you think, Jill?
What would you do if your spring dried up and you didn't have a backup water source?
Bingo.
That's
you're
my
not gonna
thought.
use,
You could treat that. We can still use that water. We'd have to treat it.
You
at
would
the
need
top
to
of Big
filter
Hill.
it. It's surface water. You'd have to filter it, which means you need a filtration facility, but you'd have a backup water source. So like I have 2 water systems with wells that are drying up. They don't have a place to dig another well and they're not gonna have water. So like, I guess I just see it as for whatever, 350 or 500 bucks a year of taxes and a Sugarwoods bill that just about, our revenue that just about offsets. I'd keep that secondary water source.
I
I was
couldn't
gonna
agree,
say
I
it's
couldn't agree
security.
more.
I'll bet you it cost us $50 million to put a water line down here from up there right now. But I guess if you don't have water,
It's, yeah, you're gonna have to.
Look at Marshfield, you're already sort of on the news, and some of these other towns didn't have water for 8-10 days. Yeah.
I don't know,
I mean,
that's just my opinion. You have another water source that you own that you could relatively easily permit. Yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll figure out another way to transport water at some point in our lives, but yeah, pipeline being buried is super expensive.
where's the other water source, Jill?
You take the right like you're going up to Lincoln, and instead of going to Bristol Falls, you bear left, and it's like a.
Go up Briggs Hill, so put on the property
Yeah.
line.
Yep.
That's just the
Contact.
contact.
That was just the contact.
That was a chlorination point, that little
I've
building.
never seen it. I went
The
into
little
the
building is just a
building.
chlorination for the
Yeah.
Lincoln, for this Seth Hill Waterworks.
Okay,
Mhm.
I've never seen the source. I'd love to see it.
Well, I can take you and Ian for a ride so you can see where it is.
Hey, I'll jump in with you, cause I've never been up there.
Yeah.
We'll take the
Um,
van.
That's right. Our next
I mean,
road trip.
I'm fine, sorry to elongate this discussion. I'm fine with keeping this and having this done. I'm just wondering, like, can this be used for anything else to benefit it, to help us in the future? I mean, the subdividing, idea isn't a bad one if it was an area that was, that a developer was interested in working on a public-private partnership for housing or for whatever, if it was an area that we could develop. I don't know, it's just.
I think you need to see it.
Okay.
You need to see it. You've never been to, get out your hiking
I
boots.
think you need
Okay.
to see it. You might not feel that way.
Maybe some Sunday I'll pick you up, Ian and Jill, and we'll head up.
Okay.
Actually, the 10-year-old plan is online. You might wanna, I think there are some
Oh, okay.
photos in there and some other descriptions.
Yeah, I remember seeing photos.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make a
Okay.
motion that we update the forest conservation plan and hire
Dave, Vermont Family Forest.
Dave Brin to do the work,
The Vermont Family Forest.
not to
Second.
exceed 1750.
All right, there's a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Review and approval of June 26th and July 10th meeting minutes.
Which one did I send you?
The 10th.
Okay.
I'm still stuck on the 26th. It's just a time thing.
I make a motion to accept the July 10, 2023 minutes with the changes I sent to them.
Second.
There's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right.
Thank you.
Authorize accounts payable warrant, any liquor or tobacco? I didn't see any liquor or tobacco.
Yes, there is one.
Is there one?
Yeah, for
Oh,
covers.
Legion.
Like, covers.
Covers, yeah.
Covers.
I saw it there somewhere.
So that's just a vote, right?
And then we have the certifications we have to sign.
It's not in here.
And the amended warrant amount is $268,022.72.
That's correct.
There is a coverage, I know there was.
Yeah, it must be this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear that amount? Ian?
Covers.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have to make a motion.
No, we don't.
That's the certifications that we approved for the water stuff.
Okay, authorize, select board roundtable, Peter, first.
I am good.
Michelle,
I'm good.
Ian?
Just Ted had made that, the public comment regarding the sign, and I had been working with Reg on that. The last correspondence that we had, Reg had mentioned that the Historical Society had passed on doing the sign and no longer wanted to do the project. So I was pleased to hear that they were interested in doing it again. If they want to do it, I think that's fine. I'm happy to work on that. My only ask would be that we just, I think we just need to approve the sign. And we had some designs that Reg and I had sent back and forth and came across, I think, a fairly decent one that we all needed to have be approved. But that was the only update I had for that particular project.
I was gonna ask you that when he was doing
Yeah.
the form, because I knew you had a sign. I thought, oh, maybe there was a falling out and Reg didn't like the sign, so I think I'll keep my mouth
No,
shut.
Reg, I sort of I intervened because I wanted to make sure that the signage matched the signs that we had created coming into town, as well as, and the new rec department, or the rec club signage is sort of a similar kind of theme. I just wanted to make sure that it was all kind of worked together. And so I didn't take it over, but I sort of inserted myself in on that conversation. And I think that maybe that wasn't appreciated as much as I thought it might have been. And so that's when I got the email from Reg saying that, the Historical Society decided not to pursue this. I called him immediately and talked to him. He was very happy with the sign. It was just, there was just too much going on, like the back and forth. I think the Historical Society just wanted to get it done and have it put up and be happy with it. And I sort of added a little bit more complication to it. I do think once we can get the approval of the sign, like you said, Michelle, having the bump on, I think is important and just keeps the nice design that the sign is already there. I mean, that's a nice sign. It just doesn't look very nice because it's worn away. I think if we can just approve what it looks like, I think having them do it is great and paying for it is wonderful. And I'm very appreciative of that. And we have the design. We just need to, I think when we put it on in 3 weeks, I'll send my design in that Reg likes and had liked and approved. And so we can go from there.
Okay.
I kind of like they had the hall in the back.
I'd like that, the hall in the background.
The only thing with that is that it's sort of, it makes it a little bit harder to read, I think, when you have text on top of that. So we wanted to keep it as simplified as possible. And you also have the hall right there, literally like next to it. Signage like that can work if it's doing something where it's not next to the building. That would be my only thing. It just looks a little bit busy. Your eyes are competing with the visuals. But we can talk about it in 3 weeks.
Okay. Was that it for you? Sorry.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, that's fine. Thank
Is that all? And I just had something and I just.
See, you should write it down just like me.
Yeah, I know. Went right out. It's not.
I remembered mine 2 days later.
Oh,
And
just,
I emailed
Ian,
back.
I know. Any more word on the bus stops?
Yes.
Where are
So
we going?
it's the continuing project. The bus shelters are here. We have 2 of them. They're sitting over at Bristol Works by the police department, or it's sort of tucked in the corner. They're here. We have the permit signed for the Pomelo location, and then we just need to sort of put that in. And then I'm still trying to figure out what to do at the old high school location. We'd really like the Historical Society would really like to see the bell box remain there at that location. It's sort of where the building used to be. The property owner has concerns about that because it hasn't really been taken care of over the years, even though he's offered assistance and offered financial incentive to sort of keep it in good condition. It hasn't been kept in good condition, and it's kind of not it's falling apart, but it could be cleaned up a little bit. So he doesn't really want two structures there, the bus shelter and that. So I'm trying to figure out a way where we can put the shelter in, because I think it would be a very useful thing to have there, and have this bell box at some other location on the property. So I'm still working on that. It's just
Add a
taking,
bell tower onto the, like, onto the shelter.
yes, or something like that, or it's next to it, you know, and it fits in so people can still see it. It's just, yeah, it got really complicated. And also the land underneath that particular location is owned by the school district. It's literally like the structure and 5 feet around it. So that got more complicated as well.
That's all owned by the school district?
Just
No,
the bell
it's
tower.
literally just the structure and 5 feet around it is owned by the school district. Like, in Tom's deed, that's what it says.
Right.
And so if we move the bell box, does that piece of land move with the box anywhere we put it? Or it just got really silly. And so I'm trying to get this moving, but it's like, it's very, very slow.
And did the Pommel thing go in front of the design review board?
No, it's still in the process. We got the first thing was getting the permit and having it signed by Parmelo, and then that would be the next stage. Yeah.
And then I know
it falls in that area. Yeah.
And then I have reached out to the school about the blinking sign on top of Spring Street and Mountain Street. I think their email must be crashed or something, because I don't seem to get a response anymore. I guess I gotta walk in the office next week
Probably.
and say, you guys emails work anymore or what? So, but I'm working on it.
Okay, great.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's all I had. Valerie, anything? Town administrator's report.
Nothing to add to my written report. I thought there might have been, but I lost track of it.
Okay. Correspondence,
write it down.
reports, or correspondence received? Any correspondence for us?
Just some odds and ends. Where did my tea report go?
Jill, just for the last select board concern of mine is, I see we have a kickoff meeting on Wednesday, because that's with Munson and Steve and you and Cy and the whole kit and caboodle.
Yep, and I noticed that they marked out for dig safe.
You saw that.
They haven't
What's
called
the
me
thing
yet.
up on the corner by the stop sign by Pine Street and North? MERC, it says there.
I have no idea. All I know
Big
is
letters.
What
I
color?
don't know.
White.
I don't know what they mean.
And it's, the white is where they want marked, so.
Okay. Yeah. You
Yeah.
got all the arrows and Z's and everything. And
I think they're delineating where they're gonna cut the pavement to install the new water line. And I already know that the existing water line is definitely further over. We walked that at the pre-bid meeting.
That's in the eastbound lane going east. When you and Cy did that repair just east of Taylor Avenue and Pine Street, where
We also
there's a
did,
repair, and just below my house there's a repair, and they
Yep.
were all in the eastbound lane headed east.
yep, we also did one right on the corner of North and Pine, that very first house on the left as you're coming in.
Yeah,
It's definitely on that side of the road, the same side as the white house with the blue trim. It's on the same side as you.
right.
Yep, and it gets,
I haven't, I filled out my thing, but I was supposed to bring it with me tonight, and I left it at home, what my inventory is, or my, it's
Awesome.
copper coming in the house, so.
I knew that, but I hadn't seen the evidence of it
Yeah,
yet.
so
You need a picture of that?
I'll send you a picture.
Well, we're keeping records of everything that we are given physical records of and taking pictures when we're doing the visit ourselves. And some people are recording it verbally, and we're taking it any way that we can get it, basically, and storing all the records that we can so that when it comes time to possibly do service lines into the future and possibly with other replacement projects, that we have good records for those as well.
So 8069 Plank Road is K Copper. That's my old house. My daughter's there now.
Ah, let me write that
Write
down.
that down, Jill.
Don't you know I have to?
Because you'll never get it any other way from him.
Well, you might get it from her.
8069 type K copper.
Plank Road.
I know it's Plank Road because there's no 8069 on any other road with water system here.
I haven't sent mine in yet, but I will. Sorry.
So what we're finding so far, we're probably about 75 in, is there's quite a few copper services, which is refreshing and good. There's plenty of galvanized, and I've only seen maybe 2 lead, and I bought these. I was telling Valerie about this today. Lead service test swabs. So I'm gonna go to the 2 that could be lead because they are not copper. They're not magnetic. They look kind of chalky and dry and whatnot, but I just kind of want to like do the swab before I write that they're definitely lead, because they're proving to not be any other material, but you know. So I don't
So
see a lot
they're-
of it yet.
So if they're lead, will the state pay to have those replaced?
Well, so this is what Roger Bergeron told us with Pine Street, which is already about to happen. If the service line is dug up in the process of doing the project, and it is found that both the town side is getting replaced already, but if the customer side is found to be lead, it needs to be replaced and it's eligible for funding.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just those
great.
people who have it.
It's great. It's just, you know, it's it's the part, and if it's found galvanized, it also needs to be replaced. So galvanized and lead are both considered requiring replacement by this particular program. What's not is copper or plastic, which I haven't seen a whole lot of plastic besides a couple of recent sneaky contractors.
Or garden hose.
What's that?
Or garden hose.
Oh my God. I see those in other towns and I'm mortified for them.
Yeah. How about the 600 and some odd users? What are you, 25% maybe people have responded to the mail out from the bills?
A little bit less than that, but I saw Mark, who manages Woodland Apartments.
Yeah.
So we verbally did his service line inventory because we have one of our routine coliforms is in there. So I already have gone into a couple of the different complexes to see, and I know that they're it's black plastic coming down. It's HDPE from the tap to the curb, and it's HDPE from the curb into the building, and then it switches to copper on the interior. So that takes care of like, I think 6 of the buildings have 6 apartments, so that's 36. One has 3, that's 39, and one is an office. So I got 40, like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
But they have a meter right at the road. So
Yes, they do.
I don't want to say we don't care, but after the meter, as I said, you can have a garden hose after the meter, you're paying to the meter.
Yep. Yeah, and you also, the town only owns to the meter. After
Right.
that, Woodland Apartments owns it and it's their responsibility. I mean, the state kind of schnookered us in by having us do that, call them a consecutive exempt, and it was just, we would be taking care of their water quality, routine coliform. This one was like, oh, and by the way, the lead service inventory. Oh, and by the way, any replacement plan, and yeah, by the ways. So we're getting there. I don't know, maybe close to 25%, I would say. We're getting closer. I know that there's gonna be I will still see stuff for another month or 2, and then after that, we're gonna have to do the second push. And more in person.
You're gonna be in by October of 24?
Oh, God, yeah. I'm not gonna miss that deadline, no way.
No. So we still got a lot of time. Continue to mail those things every quarter in the
That
bills.
time will go
Yeah.
by.
Yep.
Yeah, and what we've been doing is we've been creating a second spreadsheet of all of the users and contact information and everything else, because we are about to possibly do service line replacements for like half of the customers in town possibly. So it's really important to have that for easements and yeah, so we're taking this exercise as like, even though it's extensive and it's a lot of work, it's also a win-win for getting the information we need to make other parts of improving the town go better. And I'm seeing the ones that are definitely leaking.
And
You make a note of that?
Yes, I do, actually. I'm like, oh, what?
And one that we approved tonight, you probably don't want me to bring it up, but it's 65 West Pleasant Street.
Mhm.
From the curb stop to that slab, that's all on the owner. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Bill to the owner, not bill to the town, and we gotta get reimbursed. It's bill to the owner.
Oh, no, and we're actually having Acker do the whole thing. We're just gonna be present to witness because he's approved by the town.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So he's gonna do the tap and everything. into the main.
He's been asked to hire either EJ Prescott or Max that are insured.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, but he'll do the dig. We'll just witness it.
Okay.
He'll be all right. Nothing bad's gonna happen.
Alrighty.
I have one other
Anything
thing.
else?
I had one other thing. Val, for the transportation planning studies grant, what about a sidewalk scoping study for the post office area? I know that we were looking at that and have been,
Right.
would that be
I
a
was
potential
thinking
one?
that might be more suitable for a bike ped grant through V-Trans, because a larger amount of money would be available. I see that as going from the Cumberland Farms all the way down to Maple Avenue, all the way
Okay.
down. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, because it jigs and jogs,
Yeah.
and then there's that gap there by the creamy stand, and
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if there's a solution for that, but I think that would be a much larger scoping study.
Okay.
Utilities and things like that,
Okay. All right. Good to know.
but that's been on my radar. And apparently, the Regional Planning Commission, when they had some AmeriCorps volunteers this past spring, did an updated sidewalk inventory study, but I haven't seen it yet. So I don't know what the results of that were in terms of being able to schedule upcoming sidewalk replacement projects.
Who is that? I know they did that. That was with, which committee was with that? That was with
The bike ped committee with Chris Dabika.
Yeah. And you haven't seen that yet?
No, I still haven't seen it. I haven't heard of people. I meant to follow up today, actually. It crossed my mind, but I didn't get to it.
Sidewalk is in pretty tough shape, is from Maple, on West Pleasant, from Maple down to Munsell.
Oh, yeah.
That's half, the west end of that is really bad.
I completely agree with you.
That ought to be
took
the next
photos of
project.
it, yeah. And what prompted me to want to update the inventory was because that wasn't even on the list.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can that not be on the list? It must be near the top of the list.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then there's some other sections too. I was walking up North Street, and there's some chunky sections on North Street too that should be on the list. I don't know where they fall right now, but yeah, I want to circle back on that.
And I was just told yesterday, just on behalf of me, and I think I speak for the board, Barbara Brown passed away over the weekend here down on West Street, longtime Bristol resident, Dr. Brown's widow down here. She passed away yesterday or the day before, so my heart goes out to the family. Okay. Is that it, people? We got anything more? No executive again? No?
Yeah, we do have
to
go
back to
executive. Yeah.
I'd entertain a motion to go back, or come out of the regular meeting and go into executive session, and we'll turn the cameras off.
Motion to, it's already from this, we already did
Okay,
it earlier.
just
so it's
continuation at 6:30.
From the earlier.
Okay,